The 1973 Sugar Bowl. It's Notre Dame versus Alabama, New Year's Eve, December 31st, 1973. The game starts with the Crimson Tide kicking off deep in the end zone, and the ball is down by Notre Dame's Gary Diminick. So the Fighting Irish start off first down and 10 on their own 20-yard line. And here's the original radio broadcast on the Mutual system with Van Patrick.
And they'll have the ball on their own 20-yard line. Brenneman will be at center. Pomerico and DiNardo at the guards. Deese and Sylvester to tackles. Zimmerly and Casper the ends. Tommy Clements is the quarterback. Pinnock, Best, and Bullock are the running backs. And Kroll, Raines, Kubelis, and Dubose are up front for Alabama with Strickland, Montgomery, and Lowe backing up that line. Out of the huddle comes Notre Dame in a double-wing formation. Clements asking for quiet so they can hear the signal. And here's the give now to Bullock, and Bullock is at the 27-yard line. On a straight-ahead play, a draw play right up the middle, and Davis and Lowe are the two Alabama players who brought him down. And Davis and Lowe has made 134 tackles this year, so he's been a busy boy defensively. That ball is just over the 26-yard line. It's second down. And about 3.5 yards to go. Demerly is flanked out wide to the left side. They're in a pro set now, and in motion goes Pinnock, and the give is to Bullock. And Bullock is straight ahead at the 30, the 35, the 40. He's to the 43-yard line before he's brought down by Ricky Davis, the right safety man.
Oh, there's some great blocking up in that offensive line. The Irish had Jerry DiNardo and Mark Brenneman doubling up there. They moved Mike Raines over. They took John Croyle, the defensive left end, moved him out, made the opening there. And this big fellow, Wayne Bullock from Newport News, Virginia, just barreled out. Two big running plays. Bullock has 16 yards now to move that ball out to the 43-yard line of the Irish, and it's first down, Notre Dame.
In motion goes Pinnock to the left. Clements on the keeper on the sweep, and he's brought down right on the 43-yard line. Tommy Clements, in rushing, has carried 89 times this year for 360 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he was brought down by Mike Washington, the left cornerback. He has 3 interceptions this year. The ball is marked on the 43. It'll be second down and 10 to go for Notre Dame, running from their own 43. No score. We're just getting underway at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. And this is the number 1 bowl game, a double-wing formation. Pinnock is in motion to the left, and the give is to Pinnock off left tackle. He's at the 47, and he's brought down on the 48-yard line by Lowe. And also in there was Tyrone King, the right cornerback, to make the stop on Eric Pinnock on the 48-yard line. The series originated on the 43. It is now third down and 5 yards to go for Notre Dame. And you can hear that Alabama crowd start the Yale defense. Demerly's flanked out wide to the right. Best is in the slot on the left side. Pinnock in the slot on the right side in a double-wing formation. Best is in motion. The give is to Bullock. He's at the 50, the 45. He's down to the 42. It's a first down for Notre Dame. And Davis and McMecken are in there on the tackle. So the ball is marked down on the 43-yard line of Alabama.
Great blocking again, Van. Great running by Bullock. Now that's 3 big games that Wayne Bullock, the fullback of the Irish, has been able to gather. And he's taken all 3 runs right between Jerry DiNardo and Steve Sylvester, the left guard and left tackle. Here we go, Van.
3 carries, 33 yards for Bullock. And here's the give to Best off right tackle to the 45-yard line. He got a couple on the play, and he is brought down right on the 45 of Alabama. Let's see where they're going to mark it. He was hit there. He'll get possibly to the 40. They'll mark it. And it is Wayne Hall who made the tackle for Alabama. So mark that ball on the 40-yard line. On the 40, it will be second down and 7 yards to go. No score. First quarter, 12 minutes, 12 seconds to play. Demerly's wide to the left. In motion goes Pinnock, and the give is to Bullock. And Bullock is stopped at the 39-yard line by Kubelis. The right tackle from Morrow, Georgia, 6'5", a 251-pound senior.
Gavilia's big boy from Morrow, Georgia, as you pointed out. Fine inside player, Van. 251 pounds. He stands 6'5". He is tough. Now, on this play, Bullock veered a little bit off. He did not go to the right side. He veered to the left side of his center, Mark Brenneman, and he ran right into Gavilia's.
Big play for Notre Dame right here with the third down. And in motion goes Best, and here's Clements on the keeper, and Clements is hauled down on the 37-yard line. He ran off left tackle on the keeper, and Ricky Davis the right safety man just smelled that one out and brought him down along with David McMakin, the left safety from Tucker, Georgia.
Well, it has rained. It is a wet field out there. Very, very wet synthetic turf. We've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds already elapsed in this football game. The Irish have it since the kickoff. They have not put the ball in the air yet, Van. I don't think we'll see too much passing tonight, but you would believe that the Irish are in a position where they would certainly have liked to have kept this drive going.
Back in kick formation is Doherty, and Ricky Davis is back in the single safety, and Doherty gets his kick away, booms it high, and it rolls around on the 15-yard line and rolls to a stop out of bounds, finally on about the 17-yard line. Brian Doherty, who's averaged 42.7, just kicked that one 22 yards. He didn't want to kick it into the end zone, and so the ball will be brought back out to the 16-yard line. In play on the 16-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 to go for Alabama. First and 10 now for the Crimson Tide. So they take over offensively. Notre Dame dropping back in the defensive formations. Wide to the left side now for the University of Alabama goes Wheeler. The quarterback is Rutledge. They're in that wishbone formation. Notre Dame set in their defense, and the give is to the second man coming through, and that's Jackson. And Jackson gets just about a yard on the play, and he's brought down in there by Fanning and Browner of Notre Dame.
Van looks like a split six used defensively by Notre Dame up there. He had 6 men stacked on that line. They brought Potempa and Greg Collins both into the line to put a 6-man front up there against the wishbone. Arrow was smiling, if you remember, yesterday when we talked about what kind of defensive action he'd stack up. Now let's watch it this time.
At wishbone again with Wheeler, the only flanker. He's out wide to the left side. Notre Dame's got about 6 men up front defensively. Got those linebackers pulled up, and here's Rutledge going back to throw. Cocks his arm and throws the bomb downfield. And it is incomplete on the 45-yard line, intended for Wheeler. It's incomplete, and dropping back there for Notre Dame. They dropped Townsend back and also had a linebacker going back with him, and he threw the bomb.
Well, I'll say he threw the bomb. This is something that they've been doing all year long. They'll surprise you. They come out there, they'll throw on first down, they throw on second down. You can forget about the fact that they stack back there in that backfield and that they're going to run the football all that much. And the big part about it is that they average better than 23 yards per catch on their passing attack. The Crimson Tide can throw the football. Here they come, Van, up to the line.
Now they split 2 men out. Going out wide is Pugh to the left side. And here's the quarterback, Rutledge, rolling out to the left, and he's going to be nailed inside the 15-yard line. And Gary Potempa is the man who came backer and nailed him inside the 15.
Well, the Irish, in their first offensive thrust, traveled some 44 yards, Ben. They had a couple of first downs involved in it. Now, here's Alabama. 3 plays, and they've got to punt. They were not able to gain. As a matter of fact, they've got a lost yardage in the marks of about 3 yards. They got a 4th and 12 as they go into punt formation.
Bob Zanat is going back there for Notre Dame along with Rudnick. And Gant standing almost on the goal line, and he booms a 1 a mile. All the way to the 38-yard line, and Zanat has it. He goes wide to the right and is hit at the 40 and knocked out of bounds. At around the 41-yard line, that was a 48-yard kick by Gant. He kicked 25 times for an average of 48.7. So that ball is going to be marked on the 40-yard line. He got that ball up in the air, and the wind really set it off. So mark the ball on the 40-yard line now, where it'll be first down and 10 to go, and Clements is talking with the official. So with the score, Notre Dame nothing, Alabama nothing. There's a timeout on the field now. This for lazy.
Here's good news for all football fans. Now you can have the most comfortable chair in your home, and you own a Lazy Boy recliner. It's so relaxing, you'll wonder how you ever got along without a Lazy Boy. It reclines to any comfort position you desire. It's available in many styles and fabrics, so your wife can select just the right Lazy Boy to match any room decor. So take a tip from Van Patrick. See your Lazy Boy dealer soon, and tell him that the old announcer sent you.
Sinus flares up. Sometimes your whole face aches. When you need occasional help, get Sine-Off tablets, the sinus medicine. Sine-Off works with a full dose of pure aspirin for sinus headache, plus a sinus drainer for congestion. That's how Sine-Off helps sinus pain while you drain. Remember, for best relief and safety, take Sine-Off only as directed. Sineoff. Your sinus medicine in the bright red box.
Off to Art Best, running off right tackle, gets to about the 43-yard line, and Greg Montgomery is in to make the tackle for Alabama. The series 40-yard line of Notre Dame. After that punt, they're going to mark it now on the 44, so give Best 4 yards on the carry, and Art Best has carried 118 times for 700 yards. He's averaged almost 6 yards a carry. They're in the double wing formation again with Pinnock in motion. The pitch is to Pinnock. Pinnock off left tackle. He jumps over one man, comes on up to the 48-yard line, and is brought down by Chuck Strickland, the linebacker, on the left side, which will make it 3rd down and 2 to go for Notre Dame. We've got 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's Notre Dame nothing and Alabama nothing on this one for the Collegiate Football Championship in the 40th Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. So far, Notre Dame in 10 carries, 51 yards. They're out now in a power I. Now they go into the power I to the left. Waiting for it is Clements, and Clements on the give now to Pinnock, and Pinnock gets close to the 50, but he's dropped on the 49-yard line on 3rd down, and David McMakin is the man who brought him down. So that brings up a 4th down and just about a yard and a foot to go, Al, so that will bring in the punter, Brian Doherty, who kicked one only 22 yards a moment ago, but that was because of the fact he didn't want it to go into the end zone.
And he's got an average of 42.7 yards per kick. His longest this year was 66. Both teams have excellent kicking games. Alabama may have a shade better kicking game, but let me say this about Doherty. He has done a tremendous job for the Irish this year, standing back at the 36-yard line. Now, he needs to get off a big boomer, and, of course, Alabama, with a single safety back there, will be ready to try and field it that way. He'll probably kick away from him.
Well, the officials are having a little discussion right now about something. The ball is on the 49-yard line of Notre Dame. It's 4th down and a little over a yard to go. And Carey is the deep back for Alabama. We have 7:21 to play in the first quarter, and there's no score. Alabama and Notre Dame. Look at the men they've got up there. They've got 11 men up now to put the rush. And back goes Doherty to kick, and the fair catch is called for on the 17-yard line by Carey. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network. This is Don Patrick, along with Al Wester, Buck Jersey, and our entire Mutual Sports crew at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, as tonight's game is being broadcast all over America on one of the largest radio networks put together for a major sporting event. So there's a timeout with a score: Notre Dame nothing, Alabama nothing.
Frank and Anthony of the Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road in Rotterdam would like to wish you and yours the most glorious and happy New Year, and hope you are enjoying the Sugar Bowl football game tonight over WSNY on the Mutual Broadcasting System, with Notre Dame taking on Alabama. Remember to start your New Year off right by shopping at the Mariahville Food Market, the market for quality foods at lower prices. Plenty of free parking and friendly service, too. Mariahville Food Market offers the best to you. Their choicest meats are better, their produce fresher, and their service is always with personal attention and friendliness. Mariahville Food Market also provides a fine selection of baked goods, frozen foods, and dairy products. You can't beat the convenience, the food, or the service anywhere else. Remember the name, Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam. Open 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., 7 days a week. When you shop for food, shop for savings. You owe it to yourself to shop Mariahville Food Market.
On the sweep of the right side, and he's back to the 15, which lost a couple of yards for him. Reggie Barnett made a fine defensive play. 5'11", 182-pound junior from Flint, Michigan. Out of the huddle now, and wide to the left side is Wheeler. That wishbone with Rutledge directing Jackson and Beck, the running backs, along with Billingsley. And here's the fullback going through Beck, and Beck brings it up to about the 19-yard line and is brought down by Greg Collins, who led Notre Dame in tackles this year with 133 tackles. He's from Troy, Michigan, and they're going to mark the ball on the 19-yard line. The series originated on the 17, so it all adds up to 3rd down and 8 yards to go for Alabama. Wheeler flanked out wide to the left. He's from Orlando, Florida. He's the only flanker, the wishbone, with Gary Rutledge calling the signals for Alabama. No score, and here's Rutledge now, rolling out to the left and handing off to the fullback, and that's Beck again, in the middle of that Notre Dame line was in there that time on top of it.
Sherman Smith was in there, Gary Foot-Temple. Now the Irish are jumping around. They're moving from a 5 to a 6-man line. Reggie Barnett up on the line, Ben, instead of playing him wide out there. They don't have to worry about the threat of the pass. They're able to move that extra man up there, put the pressure on the running game. All right, the kicker back in punt formation, Alabama. Double safety for Notre Dame, Ben.
Notre Dame dropping 2 men back, Zanat along with Rudnick, and a high pass from center, but Gant gets it away. Fair catch is called for on the 35-yard line by Bob Zanat. So it'll be ruled on the 36. It'll be a 45-yard kick. So that'll make it 1st down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. And they have the ball on their own 36-yard line, and they have it 1st and 10. We've got 5 minutes and 51 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. It's nice to have you with us tonight, wherever you are, across the nation or around the world. We're going for the National Football Championship right here of college football. Alabama and Notre Dame. We've got 5:51 to go in the first quarter. Total yards, Notre Dame 52, Alabama 1 so far. In motion now goes Hunter. Back is Clements to throw. He sets up, looks, throws, and it is caught. It is caught by Dimmerly at the 45-yard line. I believe the ball was whistled in right there. Steve Dimmerly caught that ball right on the 45-yard line. It was almost intercepted. David McMacken was in there, but Dimmerly picked it off.
McMacken was there, and Woodrow Lowe came over. Both of them trying to fight it for the football. I thought it would be an interception, Dan. It was an ideal setup. The ball hung a little bit there because it's a wet football, but it's a completion. 19 yards on the play. The ball at the Alabama 45-yard line. First down, Notre Dame.
Double wing formation again. In motion goes Art Best, and here's Bullock off right tackle. Bullock is hit at the 42-yard line and dropped right there. Making the tackle, David McMacken of Tucker, Georgia. And he brought him down on the 42-yard line, a gain on the play of 3. It'll be second down and 7 to go now for Notre Dame, and they have the ball on the Alabama 42-yard line with 5 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the first quarter. Van Patrick along with Al Wester at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Pinnock is in motion wide to the right, and here's Clements going back to throw. He looks and fires over the middle. It's caught at the 25 by Dimmerly. He's down to the 17-yard line. He's out of bounds. That was a crossover pattern that worked beautifully in that zone.
And what a great pass it was. Clements running to the right and throwing on the run. And he had to throw on the run because linebacker Woodrow Lowe had come right down the alley that opened up. He was right on top of Clements when he fired that football. 25 yards on that pass, man. First down, Notre Dame at the Alabama 17-yard line. Their fourth first down.
Out of the huddle now, Notre Dame. They have Art Best set off to the left in a slot. He's in motion to the right side, and Clements now going back to throw again, rolling to the right. He looks and throws, and it is caught by Dimmerly. Down at the 3-yard line, he steps back to the 4 to try to get some running room. Again, a crossover, a post pattern that time to Dimmerly, and Casper was down deep, man. He was down deep in the corner of the end zone. If that safety and that cornerback had decided to cover Casper, Dimmerly would have scored. One came over, picked up Dimmerly, but not until he had crossed over and was open. Now the Irish are knocking on the door. First down, Notre Dame. First and goal at the Alabama 3-yard line. All right, let's go. First and goal to go from the 3-yard line. Waiting for it is the quarterback, Clements. He gives to Bullock, and Bullock is fighting his way down to the 1-yard line. Running off left guard, and he's hauled down on the 1-yard line. McMacken and Montgomery in there for Alabama. We've got 4 minutes and 20 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. And that ball, when they unpile them, it's down there right with almost the nose of it on the 1-yard line. It's about the 1.5 to be absolutely technical. Now checking in here for Notre Dame. They're getting an extra tight end in here for Notre Dame. Clements 3 for 3 for 58 yards. All to Dimmerly. Waiting for it now is Clements, and Clements on the keeper. Sends into the line, and he gets down shy of the goal line. He didn't make it. He might, I don't know whether he had a good hand on that ball or not, Al.
Van, he had a busted play, I think, on that. He got the football, it popped into his hands and came right out. You know, with the pigskin, that slippery pigskin, and it's slippery tonight here at the Sugar Bowl. Raining all afternoon. That synthetic turf very, very wet. Water still standing on the sidelines down there. The ball at the half-yard line. The Irish with a third down coming up, and goal to go and a half-yard away from pay dirt.
Weber's in there as a tight end now. They have Casper and Weber. Double wing formation. In motion goes Pinnock, and here's Bullock. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Scored his 11th touchdown rushing this year for Notre Dame. And the Irish are on the board with 3:19 to play in the first quarter. And Bob Thomas with Doherty holding will attempt the extra point. Ball is spotted and fumbled, and falling on the ball is Clements. So the extra point is no good. So with the score, Notre Dame 6, Alabama nothing. There's a timeout on the field now. This for contact.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your heart. If you're cold, contact the sooner the better.
Hey, I'm back. How's that cold?
Rotten. Get the contact?
I got everything. Contact, cold tablets, and this liquid.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's all cold medicine.
Well, sure, but it only takes one contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief from sneezing, drips, congestion. For that, I'd need 6 of your cold tablets.
2 every 4 hours.
Or 3 ounces of nighttime liquid.
1 every 4 hours.
Or just one contact. The tiny dot pills do it.
Well, it's all cold medicine.
Those others contain antipyretic analgesics. The liquid, antitussive, and alcohol. They're not in contact.
6 or 3 or 1. I'd choose the 1 contact.
Me too. And I'm the one with the cold.
If you're cold, contact the sooner the better.
6 or 3 or 1. When you catch a cold, take contact. Only as directed.
Let's go down quickly on the sidelines to Tom Denham. He's right back at that Alabama bench. Tom, what's happening? He must have got the microphone in the mud down there somewhere. He didn't hear me. All right, Gulliver and Shelby are deep. Here's the kick. The kick is by Cliff Brown, and it's short, just to the 22-yard line. And Alabama brings it back about to the 27-yard line, and Sherman Smith makes the tackle there on Prudhomme. And that was Cliff Brown kicking Al in a very short kick.
Al, Ben, I've got to say this about Notre Dame. This Irish football team has moved the football 58 yards rushing, 58 yards passing, 116 yards offensively in the first period. 3 minutes and 13 seconds now. Alabama has exactly 1 yard in this football game so far. Bear Bryant must be actually seething down there along the sidelines. The great coach of Alabama. Here come the Crimson Tide up to the line.
Wheeler's flanked out wide to the left. They're splitting wide out the right pew. This wishbone formation, and Rutledge now on the keeper, rolling out to the right, and Rutledge gets to about the 27. And that is it. He got it back to about the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down by Jim Stock, the defensive right end, and Luther Bradley, the safety man who came up. Notre Dame leads 6-0, 2 minutes and 55 seconds of playing time remaining, and we are in the first quarter of this ball game at the 40th annual Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Out of the huddle now with Wheeler flanked out wide to the left. Jackson and Beck, the running backs, along with Billingsley. Rutledge is the quarterback, and he's waiting now. Long cadence count, and he's on the keeper, running off wide to the right, gets to the 31-yard line, and is nailed as he reaches the 32-yard line, and Mike Townsend, the right safety back and an All-American of Notre Dame, made the tackle. He got it up across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
You know, Bear Bryant told me, as we talked yesterday, that this might be the fastest defensive unit he had played against all year long, that he felt it was definitely that. Now there, you saw a very quick play from Mike Townsend crossing over from the right side. Great speed, tremendous reaction as he crosses over and makes the tackle on the other side of the line. All right, Ben, here they come.
Ivy's in that backfield now, along with Jackson, that wishbone formation as Rutledge waits for it. And Rutledge now is back to throw. He's being trapped back on the 26-yard line. And Browner and Fanning were in on top of him. And so they will mark it back there on the 26-yard line.
Browner was the man that pressured him there, made him double up. Rutledge doubled halfway, then Fanning really poured in on top of him. That ball is back at the 25, and it is 4th down for Alabama, and they've got about 22 yards to go.
Zanat and Rudnick deep, and waiting for it is Gant now to kick. He's inside the 15. He gets it away, and it's going to go short, out of bounds, somewhere around the neighborhood of the midfield stripe. I'll have to wait for them to mark this one. It's going to be on the 49-yard line of Alabama. There's a timeout with a score. Notre Dame 6 and Alabama nothing. Now this word.
The Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road in Rotterdam sincerely hope you are enjoying the Sugar Bowl game tonight between Notre Dame and Alabama. Frank and Anthony of the Mariahville Food Market would also like to wish each and every one of you a most glorious and happy new year. Remember, for quality foods at lower prices, plenty of personal attention, free parking, service, friendliness, convenience, and selection that can't be beat, it's the Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam.
Bullock is trying the middle of the line, and Bullock brings it about the 48-yard line, getting a yard on the play, and Kubelis is the man who made the tackle for Alabama. So mark that ball on the 48-yard line and make it 2nd down and 9 to go now for Notre Dame. Bullock in 8 carries, 41 yards. Best is in the slot on the left side. Penix on the right side. And Bullock is right behind the quarterback, Clements. Art Best is in motion. And here's Clements pitching it out now to Best. Best is down to the 46-yard line, and he's brought down by Kubelis, the right tackle of Alabama, on the 46-yard line. Kubelis is 6'5", 251 pounds, a senior from Morrow, Georgia, and the ball is marked on the 46. The series originated on the 49. It's now on the 46, and we have 30 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter. Notre Dame back in the huddle with Tommy Clements running the ball club. Dimmerly and Casper the ends. Redeman is the center. And out of the huddle they come. And in motion to the left now goes Pennick. And here's the counter play as he gets it to Art Best, and he's tackled right on the 45-yard line. That'll bring up a fourth down. Chuck Strickland is the man who made the tackle. I don't believe he'll get another play underway before the end of the first quarter as time ticks away. 3 seconds, 2-1, and that will be the end of the first quarter with a score. Notre Dame 6, Alabama 0.
Welcome to the Sugar Bowl game on WSNY with Notre Dame and Alabama. A very competitive game. The food business is also very competitive, and that's where Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road, Rotterdam, leads the league. Mariahville Food Market is the market for quality foods at lower prices, with plenty of free parking and friendly service. They offer only the best to you. Their choicest meats are better, their produce is fresher, and their service with personal attention. And that's not all. They offer a fine selection of baked goods, frozen foods, and dairy products. What more could you ask for? You can't beat the convenience, the food, the savings, and the service anywhere else. Find out for yourself. They're open 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. 7 days a week. By the way, Frank and Anthony at Mariahville Food Market hope you're enjoying the Sugar Bowl game, and they sincerely wish that you have a most joyous new year, and remind you that when you shop for food, shop for the best, and save at Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam.
Getting ready to go in the second quarter with a score 6-0 in favor of Notre Dame. Let's go down on the sidelines now where Tom Denham is standing by. So, Tom, come in. Well, evidently, we've got microphone trouble down on the sidelines. That's twice. We've tried to go down and we can't do it. So I can understand it with the weather that we're having here in New Orleans tonight with a heavy rainstorm. Doherty is back in kick formation, and Carey is back in the deep safety for Alabama. Back on the 40-yard line, and good pass from center, and Doherty gets it away. And Carey takes it on the 15-yard line, and breaks the tackle, gets to the 20. And that was a 31-yard kick, and he brought it to the 20-yard line. And so Alabama will have a 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They trail 6-0 as we start play in the second quarter of this 40th annual Sugar Bowl football game. Period. Notre Dame 21 plays to Alabama's 9. The Irish with 5 first downs, Alabama none. 62 yards rushing, 58 yards passing. The Irish 120 yards to Alabama's 0 in that department. All right, here's the quarterback. Rutledge out to throw a pass, and he throws it out to Pugh. And Pugh juggles the ball around on the 33-yard line and hangs onto it somehow and brings it to the 35-yard line. So now the Crimson Tide comes up with a first down with the ball on the 35-yard line of Alabama. He did the juggling act with that one.
I'll say he did, and I managed to hold on to it. Twice it looked like he was going to lose the pigskin. Instead, he holds on to it and goes down up at the just over the 34, call it the 35, and here they come up to the line again with Wheeler splitting once more, Ben. At wishbone formation again, Spivey and Jackson are the running backs, and here's Rutledge handing off to the fullback, and he rips through there. Spivey all the way to the 44, possibly the 45-yard line before he's brought down by Potempa. Potempa finally hammered him down on the 44-yard line, but a fine run by this youngster from Montgomery, Alabama. And in 71 carries, he's gained 356 yards this year and averaged 5 yards a carry. The ball is just shy of the 45-yard line. It is 1st and 10 to go for Alabama. That's their second first down. Wheeler's flanked out wide to the left side. They're in the wishbone formation again. Waiting for it is quarterback Gary Rutledge. Rutledge with a long cadence count, giving it to the second man coming through is Jackson. And Jackson gets to the 45-yard line, and Browner and Noshbush hate it all right there. Making the stop for Notre Dame at the 45-yard line. So if he got anything, about a half a yard on the play. Now the messenger boy bringing in the play here for Alabama, and that's Ridgway. He comes in, delivers the play, and then runs out. And
And the ball is marked on the 45-yard line of Alabama. It's second down and 10 to go for the Crimson Tide. Jackson, Spivey, and Billingsley are the running backs, and Wheeler is flanked out wide to left. Pugh is the tight end. At wishbone formation, and finally a timeout has been called by quarterback Gary Rutledge. So the score, Notre Dame 6, Alabama nothing. There's a timeout on the field now. This for Royal Globe Insurance.
Sitting on a 14-point lead with only seconds to play. To a football team, that's security. To a homeowner, security means that if the unexpected happens, his home, his furnishings, and the investment they represent are protected by insurance from Royal Globe. The same holds true for a car owner, the owner or manager of a business, or anyone. With Royal Globe, you'll find just the kind of coverage you need. And it's most reassuring for the Royal Globe policyholder to know that across the United States and in 80 countries around the world, Royal Globe services are always nearby. Protection and performance. You'll get them with Royal Globe Insurance, along with the peace of mind you deserve. Your Royal Globe independent agent can give you all the details about all of our policies. You'll find him in the yellow pages under Royal Globe Insurance. Worldwide shield against the unexpected.
We have 13 minutes and 32 seconds of playing time here at the Sugar Bowl Classic in New Orleans. Al Wester, Van Patrick, Tom Denon, Buck Jersey, our mutual crew, bringing you the 40th annual battle, this time for the national championship, Alabama and Notre Dame. Ben, here they go back to work.
Ball on the 45-yard line. Rutledge on the keeper, rolling out to the left. Now he pitches it back to the running back on the sweep at the 50, the 45. He's down to the 40. And Alabama is coming back as Billingsley. It's chased out of bounds on the 39-yard line. Another first down for Alabama. They got great blocking over there on the left side.
Great blocking and a beautifully timed pitch out there. Now you talk about speed. We just saw some speed on that break. 16 yards for Alabama, and the Crimson Tide now move inside of the Notre Dame 40-yard line. It's first down for Alabama at the Notre Dame 39 as they break the huddle once more.
Wheeler's flanked out wide to the right side in the wishbone formation. Gary Rutledge on the cadence count again, and Rutledge now to give to the fullback in the middle, and Spivey trying the middle of the line, gets down to the 36-yard line, and he's brought down right there on the 36-yard line, and Sherman Smith, along with Mike Fanning of Notre Dame, made the tackle on the 36. The messenger boy brings the call in with the ball on the 36-yard line, a gain of 3 yards on that play. It'll be second down and 7 to go now for Alabama. 12 minutes and 55 seconds of playing time remaining in the first half. Notre Dame leading 6-0. Wheeler flanked out wide to the right, and here's Rutledge now is handing off to his running back, Billingsley. Billingsley on the sweep is down to the 30, knocked out of bounds on the 29-yard line. He may have another first down for Alabama. And the Crimson Tide coming back.
Paul Spivey is in there for Alabama at the fullback, man. And running from this wishbone, Mr. Spivey has to do a lot of blocking. He just threw a key block, a tremendous block up there to be able to give them that extra yardage and that first down.
4 first downs and 6 plays for Alabama in this series to give you an idea of how the Crimson Tide is coming back now in the second quarter. Wide the left side is Wheeler. And they have Jackson, Spivey, and Billingsley as the running backs in this wishbone, with Rutledge calling the signals. And Rutledge rolling out to the right. He pitches the ball back now, and at speed again as Jackson turns the corner. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 17-yard line before he's brought down by the Notre Dame secondary. And they have tremendous speed.
Billingsley, Randy Billingsley with a great block across on the far side there. He was the key man. He was leading the play on the pitch out. He was the man that had to come in and make the block, and he came up with it beautifully. Now Alabama's inside of the Notre Dame 20-yard line. They're down on the Notre Dame 17-yard line. It's first down there.
And that's 5 first downs now for Alabama. And here's Rutledge on the keeper. He throws the ball back, and there's a wild scramble for it. Let's see who got it. Notre Dame recovered the ball. Way back on the 36-yard line as Rutledge tried to pitch it out and fumbled the ball and risked this Notre Dame foul. Jim Stock is the man who recovered the fumble.
Ron Browner and Jim Stock. Stock was on top of that football. Browner was on top of Stock. I can't believe Stock is in shape to get up, but he does. The Irish have got the first big break in this football game, Van. Recovery of that ball, bouncing all the way back to the 36-yard line. Stymies Alabama from a touchdown that might have given them the lead. Gives Notre Dame the ball in good field position.
Well, it nullifies, too, a brilliantly executed drive by Alabama. They were moving down that field. Here's a double wing. In motion is Pennick. And Clements is back to throw in the pressure zone. He throws a screen to Casper. He's at the 40, the 45, the 50. He's down to the 43-yard line. A flag is down. Dave Casper was finally brought down on the 43-yard line. They set up a screen in the right flat. It's tripping against Notre Dame. It'll be a 15-yard penalty after that big gainer on the screen pass out in the right flat. And a 16-yard gain on the play, but it'll be nullified by a walk-off of 15 yards as the officials walk it off against Notre Dame. That'll bring the ball all the way back to the 39-yard line, so it winds up as a net of 3 yards for the Fighting Irish.
A net of 3 yards and what could have been a great play. And it was a tremendous block over there. A fine short screen to the right side, executed beautifully by Clements as he turned to look to his left, then wheeled to his right and made the throw. All right, Ben, we've got the Irish coming up to the line now. The down box is not switched over here now on this, but it's taken back with a penalty.
All right, here's Clements now giving on the draw play to Pennick, and Pennick is at the 43-yard line. Brought down on the 43-yard line, the tackle made by Lowe along with DuBois. Woodrow Lowe is from Phoenix City, Alabama. He was in there on that tackle on the 43-yard line. Clements is 4 for 4 for 76 yards in passing. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Notre Dame leading 6-0. Irish now out of the huddle with Pennick in the slot on the right. In motion now goes Art Best. Bullock is with the football, and Bullock tries right guard, gets to the 44-yard line, and that's about it. Possibly the 45. Mike Washington, the left cornerback from Montgomery, Alabama, is the man who made the tackle. As a matter of fact, when they unpile him, that ball is going to be just over the 45-yard line. He's got third down and just about a half a yard to go.
About a half a yard, Van. I noted as they put it down, looking at the yardsticks in my glasses, that the Irish are, no more than 6 or 8 inches away from getting the big first down here. And here's a big third down play for them now. If Alabama can stop this one, then the Irish will have felt the sting.
In motion now goes Pennick, and here's the give to Bullock, and Bullock is at the 50-yard line, at the 49-yard line. He fumbled the ball. Let's see who got it. I believe Alabama recovered it. Alabama recovered the ball on the 49-yard line, and that was Mike Washington who got it.
Mike Washington, as you pointed out, he's the man who grabbed the football. He's a quarterback from Montgomery, Alabama, the junior. All Southeastern Conference, second-team All-American, great defensive back, 3 intercepts. He blocked 3 field goal attempts this year and has tremendous speed. All right, Alabama has the first down coming up with the ball on their own 48-yard line, Van.
First and 10 to go, and 10 minutes and 10 seconds of playing time remaining here in the first half of this ball game. And there's a timeout with the score, Notre Dame 6 and Alabama nothing.
When you shop for food, what do you look for in a market? The reasons are obvious, and Mariahville Food Market and Mariahville Road in Rotterdam can satisfy all those reasons. Mariahville Foods is the market for quality foods at lower prices, plenty of free parking, and friendly service. Mariahville Food Market offers the best to you. Their choicest meats are better, their produce fresher, their service with personal attention. And that's not all. They also provide a selection of baked goods, frozen foods, and dairy products. What more could you ask for? You can't beat the convenience, the food, and the service anywhere else. It's you, the Sugar Bowl game, and Mariahville Food Market. Speaking of the Sugar Bowl game, Frank and Anthony of Mariahville Food Market hope you're enjoying the game between Notre Dame and Alabama. And they sincerely wish you and yours a bright and prosperous new year. Remember, when you shop for food, shop for the best and save at Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam.
Rutledge handing off to Spivey. Spivey hits left guard at the 50-yard line. A gain on the play of 2. So Notre Dame losing the football on the fumble to Alabama at the Alabama 48, and so now the Crimson Tide with a second down and 8 yards to go from the midfield stripe with 9 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first half of this ball game, and Notre Dame leading 6-0 in the Sugar Bowl at New Orleans. Stock and Shelby and Spivey are in the backfield now on that wishbone, as Bear Bryant gets fresh backs in there, and here's Rutledge now back to throw, throws a sideliner that is caught. There is a great reception on the 35-yard line by Stock. Mike Stock of Elkhart, Indiana. is the man who made the reception and a brilliant catch on the 35-yard line.
He was juggling a wet pigskin again and managed to hold on to the football, and I thought sure that the young sophomore, would drop the football. He held on to it. Drew Mahalik was with him all the way, trying to wrestle it away, and finally knocking him out of bounds.
One wide receiver at wishbone formation again. Stock and Spivey, the running backs with Billingsley. And Rutledge on a give now to Stock, and Stock off right tackle. Gets to the 32-yard line. Picking up about 3 yards on the play, and Greg Collins, the junior from Troy, Michigan, is the man who made the tackle. And that was Jim Stock, an Indiana boy, on the carry, and they're going to mark it down to 30 when they unpile him. So he got a couple of extra yards before they got him down and make it 2nd down and 5 to go in the Crimson Tide. Back in Notre Dame territory again. And here's Rutledge now on a give to the first man spinning through that line. He's across the 25 and down to the 24-yard line. That's Spivey on the carry. And he's got a first down for Alabama. Down on the 23-yard line, and Drew Mahalik is the man who made the tackle, and that's 7 first downs for Bama.
This is one of the great offensive teams in college football. It's obvious why now. They have tremendous speed. They have great blocking up in the line. This fellow Shelby, who plays the right halfback, a tight end named Warren Dwyer, all of them excellent blockers.
Sharpless is flanked wide to right. Rutledge on the keepers at the 20. He's down to the 15. He's down to the 11. And pulled down on the 11-yard line on the keeper around to the left side. And making the tackle was Greg Collins of Notre Dame. But it's another first down for Alabama, and it's 8 first downs, and the Crimson Tide roaring back with 8 minutes and 25 seconds of playing time remaining here in the first half of this ball game, and it's been an exciting affair.
WSNY, 1240 Schenectady, New York.
New Year's Eve, you're enjoying the ball game from New Orleans. Out of the huddle they come, and wide to the left side is Sharpless. And here's Rutledge now on a give to Spivey, trying the middle of the line. And he gets down to about the 7-yard line. Yeah, Mike Stockett was on the carry. And he's brought down on the 7-yard line of Notre Dame. And let's take now 10 seconds for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network. Out of the huddle now. They have the ball on the 6-yard line, and Rutledge on a give to his running back. Hands it off to Billingsley, and Billingsley is in off left tackle and scores for Alabama. I hope you can hear me over this crowd at Alabama. They've gone completely wild as the Crimson Tide has come back. Bill Davis will attempt to put him in front. Rutledge will hold the ball, and Davis will attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With the score, Alabama 7, Notre Dame 6 with the timeout on the field. Now this for contact.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love. But give your cold to contact.
Don't just stand around and sniffle. Do something about that cold. Early. To get the relief you want, up to 12 hours of continuous relief from just your sneezing, runny nose, and congestion, you'll need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of nighttime liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or only 1 contact. Figure it out. 6 or 3 or 1. Take contact. Get all day, then all night relief.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. When you catch a cold, take contact. Only as directed. Contact, number 1 in the world.
Going back now in the deep formation, Hunter along with Diminick. And kicking off for Alabama will be Greg Gant. Alabama leading in this ball game now by a score of 7-6. They came roaring back, lost the football, and then got it back again. Here's the kick. Coming down on about the 7-yard line. It's taken there by Hunter to the 15, to the 20, the 25, to the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Greenville, North Carolina, took the ball on the 7-yard line. The Notre Dame bench emptied, went to the end zone, surrounded the young man. They carry him back across the field. In a matter of about 10 seconds, this young fella puts Notre Dame right back out in front of the football game with a 93-yard kickoff return. The Irish lead Alabama 12-7.
Well, Al, we've talked about Hunter a lot. He's one of the fastest men ever to play for Notre Dame. He's a freshman from Greenville, North Carolina, weighs 195 pounds, and he can literally fly as he showed here right now. We'll have the try for point coming up. And let's go down now to Tom Denon down on the field. Let's try it again. Tom, come in.
That run by Hunter just electrified this crowd, Van and Al, as I'm sure you aptly described. But what I'd like to mention for just a few seconds here is the change in emotion along the Alabama sideline. As you well know, that's where our location is this evening during the Sugar Bowl and this ball game for the national championship. This ball club was sky high when they kicked the extra point to go in front, and some 12 to 13 seconds later, you could have heard a pin drop along the sidelines. Hunter, the freshman, has threatened to do that very thing all year long, and finally broke it, and with that 9.4 speed at midfield, he was off and running for the touchdown. So Notre Dame back on top, 7-17 in just a super ball game.
All right, Tom, and now we'll have the try for a point. I'm glad we've got that equipment repaired down there on the sidelines to get the reaction. Now Thomas will attempt. They're going to go for 2 points. They're going to go for 2. They're lining up now for a 2-point try. And Clements now going back to throw. He throws to the end zone. It's caught by Demerly for 2 points. Demerly all by himself in the end zone corner pocket over there, Van, and he just waiting on the pass. Beautiful pass, a run action pass there as the quarterback, Tommy Clements, rolled back, faked the handoff to the fullback, turned and made the throw into the corner pocket. The 2 points are registered, and the Irish now have made up for that single point that they missed before. It's now 14-7 ball game. The longest kickoff return for a touchdown in the Sugar Bowl, 90 yards. That was 90 yards. It was by Simmons. And I think, Van, it was duplicated by McDaniel in 1935. So this is a new Sugar Bowl record. A return of 93 yards on a kickoff for a touchdown. All right, Notre Dame talking to the officials as they set the football up. They have had 5 yards stepped off against them, apparently. A 5-yard penalty, an infraction of the rules they had picked up, moving it back to the 35-yard line, and that's where they'll kick off, Van. Culliver and Shelby are the deep men now for Alabama, and Cliff Brown will kick off for Notre Dame from the 35, and he got a foot into that one. It's deep. Down to about the 3, and Shelby back to the 5, the 10, 15. Goes to the 20, gets a block. He's at the 25, at the 30. And he is finally knocked out of bounds by Greg Collins on the 30-yard line. That 93-yard touchdown run just electrified this crowd in New Orleans. Tonight's game is being broadcast all over America by Mutual Sports and is shortwaved and by satellite around the world. So we hope you're enjoying the ball game wherever you are on this New Year's Eve. If you're driving, drive carefully because we've got a lot of excitement. Notre Dame leading by a score of 14-7 in the battle for the National Collegiate Championship. 93 yards they've announced officially, and the Polish Prince had it right on the button. Here's the wishbone, and waiting for it is Rutledge, and Rutledge gives it now to his fullback coming through, and that's Spivey, and Spivey takes it up to the 34-yard line. He got about 4 on the play.
Defensively, Van, the Irish now have shifted that middle linebacker, Gary Potempa, up, and he sits in there as the nose guard. That gives them a 5-man front. Normally they operate, as you know, from that 4-4-3 or the 4-3-4. Now, right at the moment, they've shifted that man, that middle man, Potempa, in there for a 5-man front. Looks like a 6-man front now.
Sure does. And Culliver's in that backfield now for Alabama, and here's the give to Stock on the sweep, and he is upended at the 35-yard line. And making the tackle was Greg Collins. Collins has done a tremendous job all year. And although it was probably never noted in the press, he got some votes for the Heisman Trophy. But, of course, you've got to be a back to be elected the winner of the Heisman Trophy.
It certainly looks that way, Van. Talking about Greg Collins, 133 tackles, the leader there, 11 times for losses of 58 yards, 2 fumble recoveries, and 3 interceptions.
Third down and 5 yards to go now for Alabama. And Rutledge in that wishbone, and Rutledge rolling to the left, pitches it back now to Shelby. Shelby is tackled at the 38-yard line and thrown out of bounds by Tim Rudnick, who is the right cornerback, and Rudnick wrestled him out of bounds. Mike Stock over there also doing a good job of blocking for Alabama.
Great block over there. Stock turning the corner there, the lead man. He makes the key block. He's got to get that linebacker, and believe me, Ben, this fellow knows how to stick you. He hits you. They're going to have to punt, Ben.
Gant is back in kick formation, and Rudnick going back with Bob Zanat for Notre Dame. And here's the boot, and this fella can really kick. Look at this. Notre Dame just lets it go, and it goes on into the end zone, and that was 62 yards. I want to tell you, this fellow led the nation, but according to NCAA statistics, he did not punt enough times to officially qualify for the championship. He averaged 48.7 during the year.
Take a look at the flag, too, Van. He was kicking into the wind with that 62-yard boot. That is something.
That might have gone out of the ballpark.
Amen.
The boys over at Pasquale Manelli's, where they're getting that seafood gumbo ready later tonight, would have had to catch that one.
I couldn't figure whether you handled the seafood gumbo the best or whether you were great with the barbecue shrimp. You do pretty good with both, you know.
I gained a lot of weight in New Orleans. This is a wonderful city to visit. 14-7 is the score in favor of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And we've got 81,000 fans jammed in here. The rain has let us alone now for a while, and of course that's going to help. So I'd like to mention that the most valuable offensive player, the most valuable defensive player tonight will be awarded a beautiful Lazy Boy chair.
What a great play. What a great play to break in a football game like this for a young freshman, for Al Hunter. Hunter, on the season, has actually not got a great deal of opportunity. Had 150 yards rushing on the year. Now, here comes Notre Dame up to the line. Van, let's go to work.
Double wing. Bullock is the setback. In motion is Pinnock, and the give is to Bullock, and Bullock is off right tackle all the way up to the 28, possibly the 29-yard line, and Chuck Strickland is the man who made the tackle. On our board of experts tonight, Bob Rossler of the New Orleans Times-Picayune, Joe Doyle of the South Bend Tribune, and David Condon, sports columnist of the Chicago Tribune, will pick the players for us. Art Best in the slot on the left side. Bullock is a running back now with Pinnock, and Best is in motion. Counterplay to Pinnock, and Pinnock is hit right at the 29-yard line. He was met head on. And Lowe was the man who met him head on the line, along with David McMakin. And McMakin hit him in there, and Lowe hit him first.
McMakin is injured, Van. He's holding his shoulder as he comes rushing out of the ball game. And I see we've got a replacement. Alan Pizzatola is back in there at the strong safety as McMakin comes to the sidelines, and he was holding that shoulder, so apparently he, in on that last play, hurt the shoulder.
Weber is in there as the tight end as Demerly goes out, and they have Casper and Weber as the tight ends. In motion is Pinnock. It's Bullock, and Bullock is hit at the 29-yard line. He didn't make it. And it was Tyrone King coming up along with Woodrow Lowe, and they made the tackle. It's just shy of the 30-yard line. It is fourth down for Notre Dame, and there is getting the kicking team in there for Notre Dame. This should give Alabama good field position, and going back to run it back for Alabama, they're sending Bowles back there right now, number 5. And so Notre Dame brings Doherty out to do the kicking as Bowles goes deep in the single safety. That's Duffy Bowles. He's from Huntsville, Alabama. He's a sophomore. High pass from center, but Doherty gets it away. And Bowles is waiting for it. It rolls around on the 30, down to the 25, down to the 20. It's still rolling all the way down to the 17-yard line. It's dead at the 17, and that was a 53-yard kick by Brian Doherty.
53 yards and a good roll on it, hitting on the 30-yard line, and these are the kind you want to get. He didn't put a high kick into the air. He was going to have to kick with the wind, but he got one of those line shots. The minute it hit on the 30, it started skipping along the top of the turf there, and it goes down. Van actually is going to be placed at the 18-yard line. So Alabama is going to start from their 18 now. Down 14-7 in the ball game. 3:19 remaining in the first half.
Here's the wishbone, and Rutledge is the quarterback. And Rutledge now is going back to throw. It's Todd in there at quarterback. And Todd throws. It's completed to Pugh at the 30, the 31. Brought down. They've got Todd in there at quarterback now. Richard Todd, who's a sophomore from Mobile, Alabama. And And Todd has completed 18 out of 33, 55% of his passes this year. And they have that ball just over the 31-yard line with a first down for Alabama. That one gained 14 yards. Here's the wishbone. And here's Todd rolling out to the left. He's going to run with that football on the sweep, and he's at the 40. He's up to the 44-yard line and brought down on the 44. And Greg Collins made the tackle, but there's another first down for Alabama. Todd was their second leading rusher this year. 88 carries, 560 yards. He averaged 6.5 yards almost in every carry.
Man, of the two quarterbacks, Rutledge and Todd, Todd is the better runner, Rutledge is the better passer, but we've seen Todd throw well now the first down.
Here's the give now to the back coming through, the second back for Alabama, and he's down up to about the 49, just shy of the 50-yard line. Billingsley on the carry, and Alabama has called a timeout. So there's a timeout with a score, Notre Dame 14, Alabama 7. Now this word.
Frank and Anthony of the Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road in Rotterdam would like to wish you and yours the most glorious and happy New Year, and hope you are enjoying the Sugar Bowl football game tonight over WSNY on the Mutual Broadcasting System, with Notre Dame taking on Alabama. Remember to start your New Year off right by shopping at the Mariahville Food Market, the market for quality foods at lower prices. Plenty of free parking and friendly service, too. Mariahville Food Market offers the best to you. Their choicest meats are better, their produce fresher, and their service is always with personal attention and friendliness. Mariahville Food Market also provides a fine selection of baked goods, frozen foods, and dairy products. You can't beat the convenience, the food, or the service anywhere else. Remember the name, Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam. Open 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., 7 days a week. When you shop for food, shop for savings. You owe it to yourself to shop Mariahville Food Market.
Down to Jackson on a sweep around the right side. He's down to the 30, and he is brought down as he reaches the 30-yard line. He got inside the 30, where he went out of bounds on the 29. As they go back to work quickly, and that play gained 22 yards. It'll be first down and 10 to go for Alabama, and so the Crimson Tide coming right back, and you've got to give them a tremendous amount of credit. They battle right back again. Wheeler slanked out wide to left, and Todd now on to give to Jackson on that sweep again. He's at the 25. He's down to the 23, and Greg Collins made the tackle down on the 23-yard line, a gain of 6 yards on the play by Jackson. Wilbur Jackson of Ozark, Alabama. He has scored 8 touchdowns. He'd averaged almost 8 yards a carry.
What a way to end a football career, and I'm sure that for the seniors on both teams, Notre Dame and Alabama, meeting here in the Sugar Bowl, this is the way to do it.
1 minute and 48 seconds to go, and here's Todd on to give to Jackson, and Jackson is tackled at the 23-yard line. Brought down on the 23-yard line by Reggie Barnett, the left cornerback. And, of course, Alabama's now battling that clock. They're trying to get on that scoreboard before the end of the half, with 1 minute and 30 seconds of playing time remaining. They have the ball on the Notre Dame 23-yard line. It's third down and about 4 yards to go. Third down, about 4 to go. Out of the huddle they come, and here is the quarterback back to throw. He throws to Jackson. He's brought down on the 23-yard line. And brought down by Drew Mahalik, who made a great defensive play for Notre Dame.
What a play by Mahalik. He played him just right after the catch, smothered him right there. Practically no gain. Fourth down, about 3 yards for the first down. All right, a switch of players. We've got the field goal team coming in here. Here's Greg Gant, Bill Davis, rather, coming in to attempt the field goal, Van. He's hit 8 of 14 this year.
It'll be a 39-yard field goal attempt, and here's the kick. He's got the height and the distance, and it is good. A 39-yard field goal. And Davis has put him on the board with 3 before the end of the half with 39 seconds to go. And so now it is Notre Dame 14 and Alabama 10, a 39-yard field goal.
Oh, you've got to hand it to this Alabama football team. They don't know what it is to stop playing football, and for good reason. Paul Bear Bryant has produced some of the great football teams down through the years. The last 15 years in a row, he's had a bowl team. He is truly one of the legendary coaches. Now, Bill Davis, as I pointed out, had hit 8 of 14 this year. He just kicked a 39-yarder, 39 yards, mind you, right on the button. Tremendous field goal in the college ranks. You might say it isn't a big one in the pros, but in the college ranks, it's a good field goal, a good distance. That gives us a 14-10 ball game. 39 seconds remaining. Alabama kicking off.
Here's Gant's kick, and going back for it now is Diminick. He takes it on the 5. He's back to the 10. Goes to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and Diminick brings it up to the 30. And he's brought down as the water splashes on the 31-yard line. Gary Diminick on the run back. And he was brought down by Dubos, number 54, a defensive end. So it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Notre Dame. They kicked that ball away from Hunter, who ran it 93 yards for a new Sugar Bowl record a moment ago. And Diminick ran it back into the 30. They're going to mark it. So it'll be first down and 10 to go. First and 10 to go for Notre Dame. The clock shows 31 seconds. Double wing formation, and in motion now goes Best. And here's Clements on the keeper. Clements is at the 35. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. He's at the 46. He's brought down on the 46-yard line with 22 seconds to go. And King is the man who brought him down, and Notre Dame calls timeout.
And you're talking about 93 yards, a record for the Sugar Bowl. Indeed it is. But the longest kickoff return for Notre Dame was 105 yards by Al Thurman. That was in 1911. He did not score because the field was 110 yards long that time. The longest in a bowl game, 32 yards, Mike Crotty in 1970. That was the longest return up to tonight of a kickoff. Mike Crotty, 32 yards in 1970.
1 minute and 10 seconds. And we still had all kinds of excitement as Alabama got on the board. Now the clock shows only 22 seconds. And Notre Dame has it first and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Out of the huddle they come. Casper, the tight end, on the right side. Demerly goes to the left, and Hunter's in the backfield. Bullock is in there, and in motion out of the right goes Hunter. And Clements now is going back to throw. He looks downfield and fires deep, and it's batted away. It was intended for Demerly and was knocked away by Ricky Davis, the right safety man, along with Lowe. So it goes incomplete. 16 seconds showing on the clock, and of course the incomplete pass stops the clock. Nice to have you with us tonight. We hope you're enjoying all the excitement that we're getting in New Orleans. It's 14-10, and Notre Dame leads Alabama, the number one ranked team in the nation. Wide the right side goes Demerly. They come out on that throw set. Now they go into a double wing. Waiting for it is Clements. Clements is going back to throw again. The rush is on. He eludes them. He looks downfield, gets the block, goes to the 50, down to the 45, and is out of bounds. What about the 42-yard line? It'll be a first down. The clock shows 7 seconds. I don't know what he can do in 7 seconds. He's still a long way away for Bob Thomas to try one. The line of scrimmage, they marked the 43-yard line where he went out of bounds, so Clements has only one hope, and that's to throw it again with 7 seconds.
Well, with 7 seconds, we don't see the field goal contingent coming in because, number one, Thomas couldn't probably reach it from there anyway. It'd be a 60-yard kick. Impossible, even with a strong wind behind him, man, so they're going to have to put it in the air.
All right, and the pro set in motion now goes Hunter to the right side. Clements is going back to throw. He sets up. He looks. He fires. It is incomplete. Incomplete along the sideline. Demerly. And let's see what they're going to call it. Lowe was over there covering. And a flag on the play, and I believe they're going to call interference on Alabama.
Interference, because the man actually reached for the football, went up for the football, and was hit before that ball ever got even close to him there. He was knocked out of bounds by the defensive cornerback on the right side for Alabama. So it is pushing the interference against the Crimson Tide. Bringing it in at the 31-yard line of Alabama. There it is going to be first down for Notre Dame, and the field goal contingent is in there now then.
It will be an attempt from the 38-yard line, which would be a 48-yard field goal attempt by Thomas. The kick is in the air. It looks like it's going to be a little short. It's a 48-yard attempt. It is no good, and time runs out. That's the end of the first half with a score. Notre Dame 14, Alabama 10. Now this for Royal Globe and Lazy Boy Chair.
Football fans, Royal Globe Insurance and our thousands of independent agents across the country hope you're enjoying this great Sugar Bowl game between Notre Dame and Alabama. We wish you the happiest of New Year's. We want you to enjoy it. One way to be sure is to drive carefully, particularly tonight. Have some coffee or something to eat. Take a rest stop. Remember, alcohol makes good drivers bad and bad drivers worse. So from Royal Globe Insurance, a happy and safe New Year. This is Van Patrick. There's one thing all champions have in common, and that's performance. Lazy Boy reclining chairs are no exception. Imagine a chair that performs like a champion. Lazy Boy provides perfect comfort while sitting, reading, listening to your favorite game, or reclining for a cat nap. Once you've tried a Lazy Boy, you wonder how you got along without one. Your Lazy Boy dealer will show you how Lazy Lazy Boy performs like a champion in the field of relaxing. And there's a fall kickoff sale at your Lazy Boy dealer right now.
Identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
This is WSNY 1240 on your radio dial.
Welcome to the Sugar Bowl game on WSNY with Notre Dame and Alabama. A very competitive game. The food business is also very competitive, and that's where Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road, Rotterdam, leads the league. Mariahville Food Market is the market for quality foods at lower prices, with plenty of free parking and friendly service. They offer only the best to you. Their choicest meats are better, their produce is fresher, and their service with personal attention. And that's not all. They offer a fine selection of baked goods, frozen foods, and dairy products. What more could you ask for? You can't beat the convenience, the food, the savings, and the service anywhere else. Find out for yourself. They're open 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. 7 days a week. By the way, Frank and Anthony at Mariahville Food Market hope you're enjoying the Sugar Bowl game, and they sincerely wish that you have a most joyous New Year, and remind you that when you shop for food, shop for the best, and save at Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam.
7 and a field goal made it 14-10 in favor of the Irish over Alabama. Halftime here at Sugar Bowl Stadium in New Orleans with Notre Dame leading Alabama by a score of 14-10. Now, throughout of our broadcast of the National Football League games, the media covering National League football in all the cities voted on the most outstanding player in the National Football League. And here, with the recipient of that award, and it's a great pleasure to have him here because they have been deeply involved in sponsorship of sports, we have Mr. Ben Bidwell, the Vice President and General Manager of the Ford Division of the Ford Motor Company. Mr. Bidwell.
Thank you, Van. It's a pleasure to be with you here at halftime of this great Notre Dame, Alabama Sugar Bowl game. And it's a great thrill for me, on behalf of the Ford Division of Ford Motor Company, to present to O.J. Simpson of the Buffalo Bills the keys to a beautiful new 1974 Thunderbird. O.J. was selected as the most valuable player in the National Football League by the media who covered the teams of the 26 cities represented. He gained over 2,000 yards this past season to become the first player in NFL history to accomplish this feat. It's especially gratifying to me to present this award to you, Juice, because of the inspiration you've been to people all over America. Not only has your career been outstanding, but so has your life. Again, congratulations, O.J. Simpson, and good luck. And I know you'll enjoy your new Thunderbird.
Thank you, Mr. Bidwell, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the writers who voted for me for this award. It's indeed an honor. I'll make sure all my teammates, all the linemen that I played with in Buffalo, get a ride in it. It's certainly a thrill to me. When I first heard it, I was riding in my car and I heard it on the radio at the halftime of one of the playoff games, and I was excited about it. I'm sure all my teammates and coaches in Buffalo is excited about it. And once again, thank you, and thank all the writers who voted for me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bidwell, and also O.J. Simpson, and congratulations to you. What a tremendous year you had this year with the Buffalo Bills. More of our halftime feature after this for Burger King.
Whopper Jr. Kids can have their way at Burger King, too. Whopper Jr. Not as big as a Whopper, but made with lots of the same good things. Goes great with crisp Burger King French fries. Try a Whopper Jr. only at Burger King, where everyone can have things their way. Have it your way. Have it your way at Burger King. Have it your way at Burger King.
Let's go down on the field, man, as the Notre Dame band is performing at the moment. And before we meet one of our Notre Dame personalities, their basketball coach, to pick up the Notre Dame marching band, the first collegiate marching band in history in this country, as they play the Notre Dame fight song. broadcast booth, I've asked a great friend of Van and mine to join us, the head basketball coach at the University of Notre Dame. His name is Digger Phelps. And Digger, I know that now this puts this basketball team of yours ranked number 2 in the nation, only behind UCLA.
Well, we're looking forward to that game January 19th now. We've had very good success so far this season. We have 2 games coming up before we play UCLA, so we're not looking forward to them yet. We've got 2 games to win, and we're off now to January 12th. The kids have gone home for New Year. And I know tonight's game is just a great game here to watch our football team play for a national championship, and I hope we can do it in the second half like we've done the first half, and I'm sure we'll be national champs.
Well, now, let's see. You've got your next 3 games at home, I believe.
That's true, Al. We're very fortunate to have the kids we have. I have to credit their high school coaches for doing such a great job with some of the freshmen. I know Billy Paterno is high school coach Vinny Cox, Adrian Dantley is high school coach Morgan Wooten, and Ray Martin is high school coach Jimmy Gatto. These 3 guys have done a great job getting these kids ready for us, and I think with what we had coming back last year and adding these 3 freshmen, this is why we've had the success so far that we've had in December, and we're very happy with our 7 wins, and we got 19 games left, and our goal is still to get in the NCAA tournament, but we're having fun going along the way.
7 wins, no losses. The Notre Dame basketball team, one of the great ones in the country now, ranked number 2 in the national polls. And Digger, I've got to ask you, you bumped into UCLA before. You know what John Wooden has there on hand. You have a showdown with him coming up on the 19th, and there's a great possibility that Van Patrick and I will be broadcasting that game coast to coast. We've been talking about it. It looks like we might be there in that beautiful convocation center at South Bend when you do meet the UCLA. What about this ball club? Have you got the kind of ball club that really feels they can handle them?
Well, I feel we're a better team than we were last year. I think we have more depth and more board strength, and that's one of the things you have to do against UCLA. Of course, another thing, you have to beat their press. Then, of course, you have to stop their running game. And I think the fourth thing that you have to consider is you have to really have a good shooting night. And I think that our kids will be juiced. I know we play them first at our place January 19th, and then we go out there the following week on January 26th. But I think that we are playing them first at our place, and I know the enthusiasm that you see with our student body at like, for instance, the Southern Cal football game, it'll carry over to basketball. And knowing that you and Van are doing a game, that's got to be an edge for us because you got football thrown on the feet of the season. We'd like to have you beat UCLA for us.
Well, if we have anything to do with it, why, we'll be on hand to see what happens there. Our halftime features continue in just a moment. Out on the field now. See if we can pick up the marching band of Alabama, the $1 Million Band from Tuscaloosa.
When you shop for food, what do you look for in a market? The reasons are obvious, and Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road in Rotterdam can satisfy all those reasons. Mariahville Foods is the market for quality foods at lower prices, plenty of free parking, and friendly service. Mariahville Food Market offers the best to you. Their choicest meats are better, their produce fresher, their service with personal attention. And that's not all. They also provide a selection of baked goods, frozen foods, and dairy products. What more could you ask for? You can't beat the convenience, the food, and the service anywhere else. It's you, the Sugar Bowl game, and Mariahville Food Market. Speaking of the Sugar Bowl game, Frank and Anthony at Mariahville Food Market hope you're enjoying the game between Notre Dame and Alabama. And they sincerely wish you and yours a bright and prosperous New Year. Remember, when you shop for food, shop for the best and save at Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam.
It is the bowl game of the year, the Sugar Bowl Classic, their 40th annual battle here at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. And right at the moment, I'm talking to the Notre Dame basketball coach, Digger Phelps. We're talking about the number 2 basketball team in the country, the University of Notre Dame. They meet UCLA, ranked number 1 in the nation. They will play them on the 19th of January in the Convocation Center at South Bend, Indiana. There couldn't be any tickets available, could there, Digger?
I don't think so, unless somebody has them hiding, but I know the game is on national TV, and I know with the broadcast and the media covering the game, it should be an exciting game. And I feel, you come down here tonight. We played in Kentucky, in Louisville the other night against Kentucky. We won that game 94-79. And just to come down here and just see the enthusiasm that the Sugar Bowl has, they've got to be a proud committee of what they've accomplished here and having the national championship game right here in New Orleans. And I think it's a credit to not only the Sugar Bowl people, but the people at Alabama, the people at Notre Dame. And when you can have intercollegiate athletics playing this type of game under these type of conditions and seeing the sportsmanship and just seeing the enthusiasm and the score the way you have it, you couldn't ask for a better game, and you still got another 30 minutes of college football. So I know we're all excited, and we'd love to win that MacArthur Cup to be number 1, and yet I think that for 30 minutes we got to come out and play like we did the first half and hold them down and not let them get that surprise play. And I think here in the second half, again, we got to score some points because they're so explosive, and I know you guys are happy doing this game, and we're happy to have you with us aboard again as usual with the Notre Dame team and the Notre Dame family.
Coach, you know, I want to say one thing. You just diagnosed the second half before it was played. You're pretty good football coach, too.
No, I'll stay away from football. There's 22 guys out there having enough trouble with 10.
Digger, I want to thank you so much for climbing up into the press box area to talk football with us. Good luck to you and your Notre Dame basketball team, ranked number 2 in the nation right now. And we'll be seeing you on the 19th of January.
Well, thanks, and have a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Digger Phelps, ladies and gentlemen, the basketball coach at the University of Notre Dame. All right, now let's go down to the sidelines and to our man standing down there, Tom.
Here at our mutual microphone here at halftime on the sidelines, we have 2 premier football players who are not playing in tonight's ball game. Both young men, All-America candidates before they were injured. One, Jeff Rousey, premier linebacker at Alabama, who was injured a couple of years ago in a car accident and will never play any more competitive football. And Steve Niehaus, the big defensive tackle, the sophomore for Notre Dame. Let's go to Mr. Rousey first of all. And Steve, how do you feel having to walk the sidelines on a night like this?
Well, it's kind of a helpless feeling, you know. You've got the butterflies and everything, but there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to sit on the sidelines and yell your guts out. You get hoarse. That's about all you can do.
Steve, let me ask you the same question. How do you feel walking these sidelines being unable to play?
Well, this is the second thing I've had. And, well, I thought I was done with it last year, but it just seems like, I don't know, it seems like I'm missing something, you know. I'm out there, but I'm not out there, you know, with the spirit of the team, you know. It feels like I really feel it. I get more upset than, you know, the football players do. And, I don't know, it's just like an empty feeling in my stomach.
Does this mean any more to you because you have a brother playing on the Alabama football team, Steve?
Yeah, a lot more. A lot more.
Tell me, gentlemen, Jeff, what are your plans for the future now since you can't play football?
I plan to continue in the field of coaching.
And, Stephen, I'm sure you're just looking forward to next spring and next fall and getting it all together again.
Yeah, I'm going to try once more. See what I can do.
I'm sure I'm going to get a slanted answer when I ask this question, but let's close with this question. How do you see the second half, Jeff?
I see the team that makes the least mistake to win the ball game. They're that evenly matched.
Stephen?
I have to agree with you. That's true. That's very true.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here on the sidelines, halftime, this great Sugar Bowl football game with Notre Dame leading Alabama, 14-10. We've just spoken with Jeff Rousey of Alabama, injured 2 years ago, unable to play, and Steve Niehaus, the Notre Dame defensive tackle, injured for the second time after playing 4 full ball games for Notre Dame. Rousey, as he mentioned, is out of football, at least as a player, hopes to go on as a coach. Niehaus, coming off his sophomore year, hopes to be back and ready to go next spring in South Bend. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, and a Happy New Year to you.
Same to you. Happy New Year to you.
All right, Van, and now let's go back upstairs.
What a halftime spectacle here. Thanks, Tom Denon, for working on the sidelines. The marching band of Southern University, one of the great marching bands in college ranks in this country, now performing here at halftime. First Notre Dame, then the Alabama $1 Million Band, and now Southern University performs. Once again, we'll tell you the score at halftime is Notre Dame 14, Alabama 10. And here's the Vice President of the Sugar Bowl Committee, Mr. Charlie Gluck, who has many times visited us around the country in our mutual booth at many different football games. Charlie, I've got to say one thing. This is spectacular. It looks like a real Mardi Gras parade. The floats are fabulous. The costumes are magnificent. You have everybody here. This is real entertainment at the Sugar Bowl.
Isn't it fantastic? Really, Al, it's something that you have to see to appreciate it. Just a fantastic night for New Orleans and Louisiana and Notre Dame and Alabama. And I'll tell you, we're so proud to have these 2 just great football teams and all their fans here to enjoy the hospitality we hope they've enjoyed and to see this great spectacle. And what a football game, huh? 14-10 at the half, and what some outstanding, exciting plays the first half. That's some of the greatest I've seen.
You know, we've had quite a broadcast here, too, when you boil it all down. We've had a fabulous first half between Notre Dame and Alabama at halftime. Mr. Ben Bidwell, the Vice President of the Ford Motor Company, along with O.J. Simpson, naming him the Outstanding Pro Football Player of the Year. We just had the coach of the number 2 basketball team in the country on the air, and here you and I are viewing probably the most spectacular halftime of them all. Now, I've heard it said that in other bowls they have tremendous halftime displays. But this Mardi Gras parade with these fabulous floats, with these magnificent costumes, with these beautiful girls, with 3 tremendous bands, Put it all together, you've got a spectacle. This is worth the price of admission, Charlie Gluck, alone.
Hey, you're right, Al. Gee, it's just gorgeous. And the weather just turned so beautiful after our showers we had this afternoon. And I tell you, Mutual is, I hope they're as proud of carrying this game as we are having them, because they're just fantastic. And this is just a fantastic night, and it's just starting now. Just remember, after this game, we still got New Year's Eve to celebrate.
I don't know whether you and I can get down those stairs, do you?
Well, I don't know, but I tell you what, I'm going to try like the devil. I forgot we was on radio.
Oh, it's a beautiful night, ladies and gentlemen, here now. It's just a little nippy. It really isn't top coat weather, because I'm wearing a sport coat, a lightweight sport coat. Van has got his top coat on, but I think he may peel it off before the second half is over. So it's a fabulous night as far as the weather. The rain subsided, as the vice president of the Sugar Bowl, Mr. Charlie Gluck, pointed out to you. It's subsided, and we don't have that problem facing us. And down below, the floats are just spectacular.
Beautiful, aren't they? Gee, I think old Blaine Curry, and I have to give him a little credit, has done an outstanding job. God, I don't think I've seen prettier floats, and, I'm a native of New Orleans, seen every Mardi Gras, but those floats are just gorgeous.
And like you said, it's just beginning, because we got to welcome in the new year.
And look at this float coming out now, Al. Holy cow. That's our queen, and she's beautiful, and the float is gorgeous, and all our maskers from Mardi Gras down there. And there's some prominent men. Ronnie Cole's down there. I don't know whether you know. You see in purple? In the front there, Ronnie Cole, one of the greatest pianists in the world. He's down there leading the crowd, and Joe Rawls, Pete Fountain, the whole gang. God, something. This is just great. I wish everybody in the world was here tonight. You know that?
Mr. Gluck, you're enthused over this event, aren't you?
Oh, I'm enthused about the Sugar Bowl, the city of New Orleans. And I'd like to tell all your listeners, on behalf of New Orleans, the Sugar Bowl, and the state of Louisiana, we thank you for listening to us, and we hope you all get down here one of these years to see this great spectacle.
Charlie, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much, and Happy New Year to everybody throughout the world.
Well, you're broadcasting throughout the world. Mutual Radio tonight, going coast to coast across this country and around the world on American Forces Radio. This is Al Wester, along with Van Patrick. Down along the field is Tom Denon. Buck Jersey is with us. Buck Branson. Bob Presley, our regular Mutual crew, all stacked into this fabulous city of New Orleans, and we are truly enjoying the halftime here for the Sugar Bowl. Very quickly, I might give you a few stats on tonight's game. Alabama has 12 first downs. Notre Dame has 8. Notre Dame has beaten Alabama in total yardage, 185 yards to 154, as the Irish had 108 yards on the ground and 77 yards passing. Alabama had 110 yards rushing, 44 yards through the air. Totaling it up, Notre Dame completed 4 of 5 passes. Alabama did the same, 4 of 5. In the kicking department, again, that great Alabama kicking game is there. 44.5 yards a kick for 4 punts for Alabama, 34.8 for 4 kicks for Notre Dame. Individually, the big fullback of Notre Dame, Wayne Bullock, has 58 yards rushing. Tommy Clement, the quarterback, has 30. Eric Pennick has a total of 12 yards. Alabama's big 3, Jackson, 39 yards rushing. Billingsley, 36. Spivey has 22. Now the Mardi Gras parade that has been featured here at the halftime of the Sugar Bowl spectacle is just about to be completed. And momentarily in the wings, waiting to make their appearance for the second half, the University of Notre Dame, the University of Alabama. What a great first half we've seen. 2 explosive football teams. Notre Dame going on the scoreboard first in the first period. 12 minutes into the quarter with 3:19 left on the clock. The Irish completed a 64-yard drive in 7 plays. Wayne Bullock going over from the half-yard line, crashing through right guard. The touchdown was on the board. But on the point after try, the snap was fumbled. Notre Dame's kick never came off. The Irish had to settle for a 6-0 lead over Alabama. In the second period, midway through with 7.5 minutes yet to go, Alabama moved 52 yards, 7 plays, touchdown by Randy Billingsley, 6 yards out over left tackle. Bill Davis's kick was right on target, and Alabama led 7-6 over Notre Dame. But that only lasted for just about 13 seconds. That's what it took for Alabama to kick off, and a young halfback, a freshman by the name of Al Hunter, to gather the football in and race 93 yards to set a new Sugar Bowl record on a kickoff return. 93 yards for Al Hunter and Notre Dame. The Irish led 12-7. They made it 14-7 when Notre Dame elected to try for 2 points on the conversion. A pass to Demily was good, and the Irish had a 14-7 lead. With 39 seconds remaining in the first half, Bill Davis booted a 39-yard field goal for Alabama, and the Irish lead was cut to 3. Notre Dame 14, Alabama 10. As time ran out, Notre Dame tried a 49-yard field goal that was short. No good. Southern University playing here at halftime to wind up the halftime show. The Irish ahead 14-10. The second half coming up. In just a moment, we'll have the kickoff for the second half. But first, this for Lazy Boy chairs and Red Ball Transit.
This is Van Patrick. The first time I sat in a Lazy Boy recliner, it was like sitting in the lap of luxury. It was the most comfortable experience I ever had. Yes, I found there is a difference in reclining chairs, because Lazy Boy reclines to any degree of relaxing comfort I desire by merely leaning back, and the selective leg rest gives me added stretch-out comfort. But don't take my word for it. See your Lazy Boy dealer soon for a comfort demonstration.
General Manager of the American Red Ball Worldwide Movers, on behalf of the American Red Ball family of agents from coast to coast, I wish your family the best of New Year's, and our company resolves to be dedicated again this year to doing something about the moving business, to make sure your next move is a better move. A desire and will to do to make things better is the basis for American Red Ball's Agent Code of Standards. And it's the same kind of desire and will that got the Fighting Irish and Alabama to the Sugar Bowl. I congratulate and greet Notre Dame and Alabama, their alumni and friends, and I'm glad to say we'll be back again as part of the Notre Dame broadcast. And I'm particularly pleased to announce at this time that the old announcer, Van Patrick, has been appointed a member of the American Red Ball Sports Advisory Board. Congratulations and the very best. That's Elmer Ostermeyer, the general manager of American Red Ball, who's been with us all season now, and we're just happy to have him with us.
Great people, and to Elmer and all of the Red Ball folks, we send our best wishes, too, for a very, very happy New Year. And may I add, too, to all of our friends around the world on American Forces Radio, and to all of our friends who have followed us in pro football and college football all season long, a very happy New Year to you and to yours. May 1974 bring you great joy. The captains of Notre Dame and the captain of Alabama at the middle of the field. Notre Dame with their gold helmets, gold trousers, white jerseys. Alabama in their white trousers, their crimson helmets, their red jerseys. Two great football teams, two great coaches, two great institutions. The University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa. The University of Notre Dame at South Bend. We have 30 minutes of football action coming up. 14-10, the Irish lead. We have the third period just about to start. Notre Dame will be kicking off. Alabama will be receiving. And Patrick is all set to go with the explosive action that I would fully expect to see in this next 30 minutes of football. We have 81,000 jammed in here in Sugar Bowl Stadium in New Orleans as the second half unfolds. Notre Dame is lining up to tee the ball up at the 40-yard line. Cliff Brown will be the man kicking the football off, and there'll be two deep backs dropping back for Alabama. All right, man. We're ready for the action. And here, ladies and gentlemen, the sports director of the Mutual Broadcasting System, the man who has brought you so much excitement in 44 games of football this year, Van Patrick.
All right, Al Wester and Culliver and Shelby are deep for Alabama. It's 14-10 Notre Dame, and anything can happen in this one, so hold on. If you're driving, slow down. Getting all set now, and kicking off for Notre Dame will be Cliff Brown. And here's the whistle, and here's the boot. Good high end-over-end kick down to the 3-yard line, and Culliver takes it, fumbles the ball, picks it up. He's going to run with it back to the 5, to the 10, and he is really hit as he reaches the 11-yard line. So it'll be first down and 10 to go for Alabama. And that was Sherman Smith, the man who made the tackle for Notre Dame. So it'll be first and 10 to go for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. They trail by 4 points. They're coached by Paul Bear Bryant, who has won more games than any active coach in football today. So now Alabama back in the huddle. Let's wait for them to put that football down and get the official marking. And now then they're going to walk it back here and place it down on the 7-yard line. There'll be a penalty against Alabama, half the distance to the goal for clipping. So the Crimson Tide will have to start from their own 7-yard line. And out of the huddle they come with Wheeler. Flanked out wide the left side. And Rutledge is the quarterback on the keeper. And he cuts in over right tackle, brings it up to the 15, to the 16. And Mike Townsend makes the tackle for Notre Dame. They may rule the play was dead at the 15-yard line. It'll be gain of 8 yards on the play by Rutledge running that keeper. In rushing in 78 carries, 253 yards. He's averaged 3.2. The play is brought in. And Alabama's out of the huddle with Wheeler flanked out to the right, the wishbone formation. And here is the give now to the first back coming through for Alabama from that wishbone. And Spivey was hit right at the 15-yard line. If he got anything, about a foot is all. He was brought down in there by Notre Dame right on the 15-yard line. They're going to mark it. So it'll be third down coming up and 2 yards to go for Alabama. And the messenger boy brings in the play now for the Crimson Tide. That's Ridgway. Out of the huddle they come with Wheeler out wide to the left. It's third down. 2 to go from their own 15-yard line. And Rutledge now on a give to Jackson. Jackson's on the sweep, and he's got it. He's at the 20. He's at the 22, the 23, and knocked out of bounds by Mike Thompson. It's a first down for Alabama.
A great stab there by Mike Fanning. Fanning reached out, put the rush on, crossed over, almost had his hands on the runner behind the line of scrimmage and couldn't quite make it. Tremendous effort there by the big right tackle. That front four for Notre Dame, Ross Browner at right in, Jim Stockton left in, George Hiddick the left tackle, and Mike Fanning the right tackle. That's the front four for the Irish at the moment.
And Rutledge now on the second man coming through with Billingsley. He's at the 30, he's at the 34, and brought down on the 34-yard line. That will be another first down for Alabama, and Rudnick is the man. Let's go down to Tom Denon on the sidelines now to get an injury report. Tom, come in. Well, evidently, having problems again on that sideline. Here's the first down with the ball on the 33-yard line, and Rutledge now and a give to Jackson. He's at the 40, at the 43, and he's brought down on the 43-yard line, and I want to tell you this fella can move. He's 6'1", a 200-pound senior from Ozark, Alabama, who has averaged almost 8 yards a carry this season. Brought that ball up to the 43-yard line. Here's a discussion on the play. A flag is down. We have 13 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Notre Dame leading 14-10.
That flag is all the way up at the midfield stripe, man, and the officials now talking. They're coming up here. It looks like the Irish are moving back. It apparently is going to be against Notre Dame. Alabama is making a forward move now with their football team as the ball is placed down at the 43-yard line. That flag is at the 49. Let's see if there's a compromise on this now, or the step-off will take place from the 43. 15 yards. That's big yardage. Notre Dame has been penalized 15 yards down to the Irish 42-yard line. Personal foul against the Irish cost them 15 yards. And it's Notre Dame now backing up inside their own end of the field. Alabama at the Notre Dame 42-yard line with a first down.
I believe that was Rudnick they called the foul on. Wide to left side is Wheeler. First down on the 42 of Notre Dame. And here is Rutledge going back to throw. Cocks his arm and throws deep. And it is batted away and almost intercepted by Rudnick. He almost intercepted that ball. He juggled it out of bounds and sent it for Wheeler. As Rutledge just let go of the palm for Alabama. 13 minutes and 3 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter. Notre Dame leading by 4 points. We hope you're enjoying the ball game tonight, wherever you are. And a Happy New Year to you. And if you're driving, drive carefully. Mutual Sports sending it all your way from New Orleans on the banks of the Mississippi. And wide to left side is Wheeler. They're the wishbone again. Jackson and Spivey and Billingsley. And here's the first man going through, and that's Spivey. Spivey's at the 40 and dropped on the 40-yard line. The tackle was made by Potempa. And they'll mark that ball just over the 40. Let's call it the 39-yard line. That'll make it third down, and 7 yards to go. for Alabama. So here's a big third down now for the Crimson Tide, coached by Paul Bryant. They're trailing by 4 points in the battle for the National Collegiate Championship. Alabama's used 9 different ball carriers. Rutledge throws to Jackson at the 35, the 30, 25, the 20. He's all the way down to the 17-yard line, and Greg Collins brought him down. And the Alabama crowd goes wild. Listen to it.
Play. 21 yards. That pass played to Wilbur Jackson rolling out of the backfield, and Gary Rutledge hit him. He just put that ball in his arm and went with it. First down at the Notre Dame 18.
All right, ready to go now. Rutledge brings him out on that wishbone again, and Rutledge now handing it off to Jackson. He's going wide, putting on the speed. He is hit as he reaches the 18-yard line by Reggie Barnett. Let's see if he got it to the 17 or where they're going to mark it. I don't believe he gained an inch on the play. They're going to put it down right down on the line of scrimmage, the 18-yard line. Alabama now coming up with a second down and 10 to go. Quarterback is Rutledge. Got Jackson, Spivey, and Billingsley in that backfield. He splits Wheeler out wide to left. Two ends are in tight. Rutledge waiting for it with a second down and 10 to go. Rutledge is going back to throw. He throws one out to the left back to Wheeler. He's knocked out of bounds on the 5-yard line. First down and goal to go for Alabama. Great pass out there. Rudnick knocked him out of bounds, but it's first down and goal to go for the Crimson Tide on the 5-yard line of Notre Dame.
All-American receiver Wayne Wheeler. Good speed, good size. 19 catches, 530 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just a great receiver. He's tricked him, this Wayne Wheeler, because he has great speed out there. Rudnick has been giving him too much ground there. He's going to have to play that kid tighter.
WSNY 1240.
And here's Rutledge now on a give to the second man, to the Jackson. Touchdown, Alabama. They went 93 yards in 11 plays. Now we'll have to try for point on Davis with Rutledge holding. Waiting for the snap. Broom is the center, Pope and Rogers the guard, Sprayberry and Brown the tackles. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Go with the score. Alabama 17, Notre Dame 14. There's a timeout on the field. Now this is the Big Red Chewing Tobacco.
Here's tobacco chewing truck driving Dave Dudley for Big Red Chewing Tobacco. Chauffeur in a big machine rolling all day. How sweet it is with Big Red. Going Oaks in New Orleans on time all the way. How sweet it is with Big Red. You notice it everywhere. More folks chewing Big Red Chewing Tobacco. Truck stops and the coffee's hot and conversation's fine. Hey, Mike, watch things like out Route 59. Then you pass Big Red around and the fellas take a chew. How sweet it is with Big Red. You ought to try Big Red Chewing Tobacco. It's moister, smoother, more satisfying. Got a taste of his own that keeps on tasting good all chew through. Climb on board. Start chewing Big Red Chewing Tobacco soon. How sweet it is with Big Red.
Let's go down quickly to Tom Denon on the sideline.
As you can well imagine, jubilation along the sidelines here on the Alabama side of the field. 95-yard drive. We were told at halftime that George Haydick, Notre Dame defensive tackle, Willie Fry and Jim Stock, Notre Dame defensive end, shaken up in the first half, and we'll see, if any, just spotty action through the second half here. That report coming from the Notre Dame medical staff.
Here's the kickoff to Diminick, and Diminick brings it back to the 20-yard line, and Turpin makes the tackle, but there was a flag on the play, and I believe it's against Notre Dame. Well, you can tell by the Alabama crowd it's against Notre Dame, maybe a clip penalty against the Irish, which will set them back. Now we can find out about the poise of Notre Dame, whether they've got the poise now to come back. They're trailing 17-14. Alabama came back. One of the most exciting Sugar Bowl games we've had, and it's really something.
It's one of the classics, man. One of the real classics. Now the Irish have the ball back at their 8-yard line. Remember, Alabama started at their 7-yard line. Took 4 minutes. Drove the ball the distance of the field, 93 yards for a touchdown, and here come the Irish.
From their own 8-yard line, Pennock goes in motion. Pennock has got the football, and he's in trouble. He is tackled back on the 6 or 7-yard line. Coming in there with Greg Montgomery, the middle backer from Macon, Georgia, 6'1", a 223-pound sophomore, and he knocked him down. Back on the 6-yard line, a loss of 2 yards on the play, and there's an injury on the play. Is that Pennock? He went to the sidelines there, a Notre Dame player shaking up on the play. It was Pennock, so Al Hunter is in there now replacing him. Pennock goes out limping, and Hunter goes in motion, and here's Clements on the keeper, coming wide to the right side, and he's going to be thrown down on the 5-yard line. And that Alabama defense is rising to the occasion now, with Troyle and Raines and Kubelis and DeMose. Kubelis is the man who made the tackle that time, and they are really getting tough. They were fired up by that touchdown, which gave them the lead in this ball game with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. And that's making a big difference. The momentum has switched over now to Alabama. Wide to left side goes Hunter. Double wing formation. Bullock is in there. In motion goes Hunter to the left. Clements is back to throw from the end zone. He runs out of it, gets a block, brings it back to the 10-yard line. His receivers downfield were covered, and it will be 4th down and 8 yards to go, and Doherty will have to kick. He has the wind at his back.
Man, he was really scrambling there. He was deep in the end zone, could easily have been tackled back there, elected to come out of it, runs it out. I don't like to see a youngster the size of Tommy Clement. He's a 185-pounder, but he's gambling running out against this big front 5 that Alabama uses. All right, Notre Dame will kick.
Doherty is back to kick, and Shelby is back to run it back. He takes it right on the 50-yard line and goes down at the 47. That was a 40-yard kick. But Alabama with great field position. They have the ball now on the Notre Dame 48-yard line. They're going to mark it. So it'll be 1st down and 10 to go from the Notre Dame 48, and great field position for the Crimson Tide. We're leading in this ball game, 17-14. Out of the huddle they come quickly with Kroom over the ball. Rogers and Pope the guards. Sprayberry and Brown the tackles. Wide to left side is Wheeler. Jackson, Spivey, and Billingsley are the running backs. Here's Rutledge now, and the keeper rolling off left tackle. He's down to the 40, down to the 35. He is finally forced out of bounds on the 30. That's Todd in there at quarterback. And he was finally chased out of bounds down on the 30-yard line. A gain of 18 yards on the play, and Alabama now is almost unstoppable.
A great block by Wayne Wheeler, the split end, who I pointed out earlier was a great receiver, but an excellent blocker, too. He threw a key block on the cornerback, Tim Rutting.
The running quarterback, Todd, is in there for Alabama, and Todd on that keeper again, rolling off right tackle this time and down to the 27-yard line. Greg Collins made the tackle at Notre Dame. They're going to have to tighten up that defense if they expect to stay in this ball game, because the Crimson Tide really beginning to roll now. They're down on the Notre Dame 28-yard line. They have 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. They're leading in the ball game, 17-14 with 8 minutes to play. Jackson, Spivey, and Billingsley are the running backs. The quarterback is Todd. And Todd waits for it, takes it, gives it off to the first back through, and he is stopped. That's Spivey right at the 25-yard line, and Potempa is the man who made the tackle there for Notre Dame, along with Mike Fanning, and let's see where they're going to place it down. They're going to rule it dead on the 28-yard line, so no gain on the play, and here is a big play for Notre Dame. It's 3rd down, and about 6 yards to go. So the Irish calling on their defense now, and Alabama, of course, a big play on a 3rd down situation. Waiting for it now is quarterback Todd. He's back to throw, pitches it out, and the tackle is made right on the 28-yard line. They tried to sweep as Billingsley took the pitch out. Smith and Townsend made the tackle, and you could see that water splash, Al.
Plenty of water still laying on top of the synthetic turf here in the Sugar Bowl. The defense of Notre Dame has stood at the test now for 3 downs. It's 4th down, and the field goal contingent is in. This kick will be from the 35, a 45-yard field goal attempt. And
he kicked one from 39 yards out. This one is high, and it is off to the right. It's so good. So with the score, Alabama 17, Notre Dame 14. A timeout on the field. Now this for contact.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your heart. If you're cold, contact, the sooner the better.
Hey, I'm back. How's that cold?
Rotten. Get the contact?
I got everything. Contact, cold tablets, and this liquid.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's all cold medicine.
Well, sure, but it only takes one contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief from sneezing, drips, congestion. For that, I'd need 6 of your cold tablets.
2 every 4 hours.
Or 3 ounces of nighttime liquid.
1 every 4 hours.
Or just 1 contact. The tiny Tide pills do it.
Well, it's all cold medicine.
Those others contain antipyretic analgesics. The liquid, antitussive, and alcohol. They're not in contact.
6 or 3 or 1. I'd choose the 1 contact.
Me too. And I'm the one with the cold.
Give you cold. The sooner the better.
6 or 3 or 1. When you catch a cold, take contact. Only as directed.
It will be Notre Dame's ball, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They take over now after that 45-yard field goal attempt by Davis was no good. So the Irish now take over on their own 20, trailing 17-14 with 6:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Clements on to give to Bullock, and Bullock up the middle for about 4 yards, brought down on the 24-yard line by Montgomery. So it'll be 2nd down coming up and 6 yards to go. 2nd and 6 to go for Notre Dame from their own 24-yard line. 6.5 minutes to play.
It is.
Out of the huddle they come. And in motion goes Hunter. Pinnock was injured. He's out of there. And here's the give now to Art Best on the counter. Art brings it to about the 28-yard line, and he's brought down there on the 28 by Greg Montgomery and Kubelis. So that will mean 3rd down coming up and about 1.5 yards to go for Notre Dame, and Weber's in at tight end. On 3rd down, Notre Dame is 2 out of 7. Alabama's 3 out of 8. Notre Dame out of the huddle. That ball is just around the 28.5-yard line. They've got 1.5 yards to go. A double wing formation, both ends in tight. The pitch is to Hunter. Hunter cuts in, goes to the 30, the 35. He is finally forced out of bounds. On the 39-yard line, it's a 1st down now for Notre Dame. He was chased out over there by King. And let's go down now to Tom Denon on the sideline, see what's happening down there. Tom, come in.
I don't know whether you could say the momentum's changed or not, Van, but the feeling along the Alabama sidelines here is one of extreme confidence. Notre Dame will have to get something going before the mood might change.
There's a handoff to Art Best, and Best is piled up on the 38. They lost about 1 yard on the play, and Kubelis is the man who made the tackle for Alabama. We're going to see where they're going to mark this ball down. The series originating on the 38-yard line of Notre Dame. Clock shows 5 minutes and 10 seconds of playing time remaining. Ball is marked again on the 38, so it is 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Hunter and Art Best and Bullock, the running backs, they're in a double wing formation. Hunter's in motion. And Clements is going back to throw. He looks and throws. It is caught and dropped. So he didn't hold it long enough. Dimmerly had it. Not long enough for possession on the 45-yard line. He had it right in his hands. Clements hit him perfectly. So it'll go back to the 38-yard line, and it's 3rd and 10 to go for Notre Dame. Van Patrick, along with Al Wester, and our Mutual Sports crew at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans.
Well, Van, that's one that Pete couldn't hold on to. He made 3 great catches in the first half for 59 yards.
Out of the huddle they come. Best in the slot on the right side. Left side, Hunter in motion, and here is the quarterback Clements rolling to the right, looking and throwing to Casper at the 40, the 45. He's out of bounds now at the 35-yard line of Alabama. Ricky Davis, he hit him beautifully, and Casper kept right on rolling. He finally went out of bounds. They're going to rule it the 33-yard line of Alabama. First down for Notre Dame. Now they go back and place it on the 35, where we called it in the first place. 27 yards gained on the play. First down, Notre Dame. Clements had that moving pocket with him that time as he went out rolling to the right side.
Beautiful protection.
Go ahead, Al.
No, I was just saying beautiful protection, man.
Here's the give to Hunter. Hunter's going to go wide, but he's going to be nailed back on the 37-yard line. Croyle, the defensive end from Gadsden, Alabama, is the man who got him on the 37-yard line. It'll be second down and 12 to go now for Notre Dame. 4.5 minutes of playing time remaining in the third quarter. Boy, you can feel the electricity in the air in this one at the Sugar Bowl. And why not? The national championship is riding on the outcome. Dimmerly to the right side flank. In motion is Art Best. And here's Clements throwing out here, incomplete, intended for Dimmerly. They went out of bounds at the 20-yard line. 17-14, Alabama leading.
Dimmerly was deep. He was down around the 15. Bullock was at about the 30-yard line. They've thrown two would-be intended receivers over there. Clements now has completed 5 of 8 for a total of 104 yards. Having a little bit of trouble now with the target this time coming to the sideline pattern and not being able to get it there. I don't know whether Dimmerly might have intended to go out, instead turned in, or whether the quarterback, Clements, felt that he was going to go out and threw to the outside.
Here's Clements going back to throw. He throws one to Hunter, incomplete. It was too high. That was third down. He threw it out in the left flat.
John Croyle was the man that forced the play over there. He read it, got in there very nicely on the play.
Bob Thomas will try a field goal from the 44, which would be a 54-yard field goal attempt. It looks like it's going to be short again. It is. It goes out of the end zone. That serves the purpose of the punt, of course. He's missed from the 48 and the 54-yard line. Bob Thomas. So now Alabama will take over on their own 20-yard line with the first down and 10 to go. Let's go down to the sidelines now to Tom Denon.
A lot of people would say that the foot is most important in a football game. Bob Thomas has not done well tonight. Alabama has gotten the ball through the uprights when they needed it. So the foot has done the job. The three-point spread is holding up.
Okay, it'll be first down and 10 to go now for Alabama when play resumes. And we've got 4 minutes and 2 seconds of playing time remaining here in the third quarter of this ball game. And the momentum went to Alabama in this third quarter. And I don't believe that Alabama cheering section is lit up for a second, have they?
No, I don't think so, Van. You've got a predominant Alabama flavor here at the Sugar Bowl. It's much closer, of course, than South Bend, Indiana. But then there's the Subway alumni of Notre Dame. And they turn out in almost every city across the country to cheer the Fighting Irish on. Down along the sidelines a few moments ago, we were checking in, and of course, John Denon was pointing out that there was a great deal of excitement here. All right, up to the line of scrimmage, Alabama at the 20.
Todd is the quarterback in this wishbone formation. Todd now on a give to Culliver, and Culliver is trying the middle of the line, gets up to about the 23-yard line, but Tebba is the man who made the tackle for Notre Dame. Let's see, they ruled the ball dead on the 22. A gain on the play of 2 yards. It'll be second down. 8 yards to go now for Alabama. New play coming in. The clock moving with 3 minutes and 40 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter. Wide to the right side goes Sharpless, and waiting for it now is Todd in that wishbone. He's got Spivey, Culliver, and there's the tackle made right on the 20-yard line. One time that the Notre Dame defense converged on Jackson and brought him down on the 20 lead. That was Shelby who carried the ball, not Jackson, Shelby. And he was brought down in there on the 21-yard line. Smith, the first man to get in there for Notre Dame. So that'll make it third down and 9 yards to go now for Alabama. Out of the huddle they come with Sharpless. Flanked out wide to the left side. He's a 162-pound senior. And they've got 3 wide receivers for the first time. And here's Sharp on a give now. And the ball is pitched out here and fumbled, and Notre Dame has recovered the football, and let's see who got it. Mahalik is the man who recovered the fumble for Notre Dame. Drew Mahalik got it for the Irish.
Picked it up in the air, man, and returned the ball about 5 yards, and Notre Dame is at the 12-yard line of Alabama. Oh, does this football game bound to turn around almost instantaneously. Across the way, the Notre Dame band picks up the fight song. The Irish offensive unit is in. Now Notre Dame trailing 17-14, knocking at the door at the Alabama 12. Here we go.
Mike Stock is the man who fumbled, and Mahalik is the man who recovered it for Notre Dame, and a double wing now. In motion is Best, and here's the counter play, and it's given off there to Pennick. He's down to the 5. It's a touchdown for Notre Dame. He ran that counter play beautifully, 12 yards off left tackle. They went 12 yards in one play, and now listen to the Notre Dame fans. Eric Pennick on the counter play ran it 12 yards, and I want to tell you, Deep and Pomerico did a tremendous job, and let's go down, Thompson, and what's happening down there now.
Man, the emotional experience on the sidelines here is something to behold. 1 minute you're on a seesaw, Alabama's up, the next minute they're down, and Notre Dame's up, and Pennick just put it in. There's the extra point, the Irish in the lead.
All right, Thomas has just booted the extra point. So the score, Notre Dame 21, Alabama 17, a timeout on the field now. This for United Delco.
After lots of time and lots of miles, you get to know your car. Want it to be trouble-free, no matter where you are.
It's cold in Maine. Takes a lot of starting power to get a car going. So I bought a Delco Energizer battery. With an Energizer, you get a lot of power because it's not activated until it's installed in your car. Yep, you know you're getting a good fresh battery when you buy a Delco.
Delco Energizer battery.
Sometimes it's just as hard to start a car in hot weather as it is in cold. Well, it's hot in Phoenix. And when you need that burst of power to get going, you can get it with a Delco Energizer battery. Wherever you see the red, white, and blue Delco sign.
For easy start with quality parts, Delco's the name to know. Well, the more you know, the more you want Delco. Well, the more you know, the more you want Delco. Well, the more you know.
Cliff Brown's kick sails out of the end zone, so it'll be brought back out to the 20-yard line. Alabama will take over. First down and 10 to go from their own 20-yard line. Frank Dean in Innsbruck, Germany, and they're listening to the ball game. They hear it on American Forces Radio Network from Mishawaka, Indiana. Rutledge is back in at quarterback. Their wishbone formation, and Jackson is in there with Spivey and Billingsley. Waiting for it is Rutledge, and Rutledge on a give now to his running back, Spivey. Spivey off right tackle, brings it up 8 yards to the 28-yard line. We've got 2 minutes and 19 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter in an explosive ball game. Barnett and Patempa are the two men who made the tackle. So let's see where they're going to mark it. They're going to put it on the 27, so it'll be a gain of 7. Second down and 3 yards to go for Alabama. Notre Dame leads 21-17. Rutledge, Jackson, Spivey, and Billingsley in the backfield. And Sharpless is the flanker, Hughes the tight end. And here's the give now to Spivey, and Spivey right straight through the middle to the 35-yard line. It is a first down for Alabama, and Collins is the man who made the tackle. So mark that ball on the 35-yard line, and that is 19 first downs for Alabama in this ball game. On the 35-yard line, first and 10.
A minute and 40 seconds here, Van, left in the third quarter, and it's a 21-17 football game. Notre Dame really having a battle here with a great Alabama team. This is the best I think I've seen this year, Van.
Oh, it's a tremendous battle, and Jackson and Spivey are back there, and here's Rutledge back to throw. He fires a bomb, and it's just out of reach. Intended for Pugh, and back there to cover on the play was Barnett along with Mike Townsend. They had double coverage on him, and they almost got to Rutledge before he delivered the ball. We've got a minute and 22 seconds to go in the third quarter.
That's a fine defensive backfield for the University of Notre Dame. The safeties, Mike Townsend and Luther Bradley. The cornerbacks, Reggie Barnett and Tim Rudnick. And between these four, they have picked up a total of 13 interceptions this year. 6 of those interceptions have been to the freshman, Luther Bradley.
Second down and 10 to go. Sharpless out wide to the right side. Rutledge now on a give to Spivey. Spivey is at the 36-yard line, brought down. We've got some information on that fumble down there recovered by Notre Dame. Let's go to the sidelines and Tom Dennis.
Alabama offensive lineman. That fumble that Mahalik recovered was not punched by any Notre Dame defensive player. It was lost on the exchange, went straight up in the air and straight into Mahalik's hand. Of course, that's the play that set up the touchdown.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Now back on the 36-yard line. It'll be third down and 9 yards to go for Alabama. And here's quarterback Rutledge out to throw. He throws it completed at the 44-yard line to Sharpless. He just did it down and out, and over that sideline, Sharpless picked it up. And he went out of bounds on the 44-yard line, but he is shy of a first down. It's fourth down at about a yard, and so the punting team is in there. Gann is in to do the kicking. Boy, can he kick them.
Can he kick them? I'll say. This fella kicked 44 yards of boots the first half in 4 kicks, man.
Zanat is deep along with Tim Rudnick. Alabama forced into a kick situation with 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. And Gann gets his kick away. And waiting for it as it rolls around is Rudnick. He lets it go, and it finally rolls out of bounds. So 38 seconds to go in the ball game, and that was a 31-yard kick. So Notre Dame takes over on their own 25-yard line, and they have it first down and 10 to go.
We'll get some answers now, Ben. Right now, it depends entirely on that Alabama defense. They must stop Notre Dame now. We are 32 seconds away from the last 15 minutes of play, the fourth quarter. The Irish have first down at their 25, and Alabama's defense is about to be tested.
Double wing formation, and Pinnock goes in motion. And here's the counter play to Art Best at the 30, 35. He comes on up to the 38-yard line. And let's see here. Notre Dame is yelling about a late hit on the play, but the officials say no. And the ball is holded here. They're going to mark it on the 38-yard line. Did a flag go down? I believe it did. They threw a flag down on the play, and it'll be a 15-yard penalty, a late hit.
Man, I was about to say it was a late hit. There was no doubt about that. It was a late hit, all right. And the guy who came over and made that hit was, I believe, was Greg Montgomery.
So now it'll be first down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. The ball is on the 47-yard line of Alabama. 29 seconds of playing time remaining in the third quarter at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Notre Dame out of the huddle now with a slot back. That's Pinnock. He goes in motion. Clements now to give to Bullock, and Bullock running off left tackle. He's down to the 40-yard line. He fights his way on down to the 38-yard line. And the ball bounced out of his hands, but the whistle had blown. It was covered down there by DiNardo, but the whistle had blown on the 39-yard line. The play was dead. So let's see where they're going to put it down. And Bullock is running with that ball hard. There's a flag on the play and a discussion on it right now.
Right, Van, and I believe it's going to be against Notre Dame. I believe the call is going to be a call against the Irish on that flag. 7 seconds remaining on the clock here in the third period. Notre Dame leading 21-17 in a football game that has seesawed back and forth, has had more excitement. I don't believe the fans have been able to sit down in the first 45 minutes of this football game, have been able to sit down more than 3 minutes. They're stepping off the yardage against the Irish. Let's see what the call will be on that now.
They haven't indicated yet. It's a 5-yard penalty, and I'm waiting for the referee.
Trying to crawl on the play, I believe. Trying to advance the ball after he was down.
So it will be second down coming on. No, first down because of the penalty. First down. Waiting for it now, and that double wing formation is Clements. And wait a minute, as the whistle blows, time runs out. That's the end of the third quarter with a score. Notre Dame 21, Alabama 17.
Frank and Anthony of the Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road in Rotterdam would like to wish you and yours the most glorious and happy New Year, and hope you are enjoying the Sugar Bowl football game tonight over WSNY on the Mutual Broadcasting System, with Notre Dame taking on Alabama. Remember to start your New Year off right by shopping at the Mariahville Food Market, the market for quality foods at lower prices. Plenty of free parking and friendly service, too. Mariahville Food Market offers the best to you. Their choicest meats are better, their produce fresher, and their service is always with personal attention and friendliness. Mariahville Food Market also provides a fine selection of baked goods, frozen foods, and dairy products. You can't beat the convenience, the food, or the service anywhere else. Remember the name, Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam. Open 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., 7 days a week. When you shop for food, shop for savings. You owe it to yourself to shop Mariahville Food Market.
Van, very
very quickly some stats on the first 3 periods of play. Alabama's had 56 plays to Notre Dame's 45. Ball possession belongs to the Crimson Tide. 19 first downs for Alabama, 12 for Notre Dame. 273 yards for Alabama, 261 yards for Notre Dame. The Irish have 157 yards rushing, 104 yards passing. Alabama has 187 yards on the ground, 86 yards through the air. Notre Dame completing 5 of 9 passes for the 104 yards. Alabama has completed 7 of 10 passes for their 86 yards. Nice to have Mr. John A. Harden, the chairman of the board of the Mutual Broadcasting Corporation, and Benjamin D. Gilbert, a director of NBC, along with Ed Little, the president of Mutual, here with us tonight at New Orleans. Now we're ready to go, and here's Clements on the keeper. He's at the 40. He's down to the 38-yard line and brought down. And King is the man who made the tackle for Alabama. Van Patrick along with Al Western, our Mutual Sports crew, and we hope you're enjoying this ball game as we go into the final quarter. We're going to give all of our great stations across America and around the world a chance to identify themselves right after this play. Notre Dame back in the huddle with second down and about 2 yards to go. Clements brings them out of it. They're in a power eye. Now they go into the power eye to the right side. Clements waiting, and Clements now on to give to Best, and Best trying to go off right tackle is going to be brought down on the 38. And Dubose is the man who made the tackle for Alabama. Now let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
This is WSNY 1240 on your radio dial.
Notre Dame breaks out of the huddle now. They've got third down and 2 yards to go. Waiting for it, Clements in a double wing formation. And Clements on to give to Best. Best off right tackle. He's down to the 35. He's down to the 30. He's down to the 25-yard line. But he is not brought down till he's at the 24-yard line of Alabama. And Tyrone King is the man who brought him down. Notre Dame with a first down on the 24-yard line of Alabama. It's 21-17. Notre Dame leading. And they have it first and 10. Weber was in there as a tight end. Hunter was in. They go out. 15 yards on that play.
What tremendous drive this young sophomore from Gahanna, Ohio. A 200-pounder. He just runs over you. Art Best, the young man who ran for a touchdown the first time he ever ran in a Notre Dame uniform, Ben.
Double wing formation again. The first down in motion is Best. Best with the football, and he cuts back at the 24, and it's going to be brought down. He fumbled the ball, and let's see who got it. Alabama recovered the ball. Art Best fumbled down on the 22-yard line, and Ricky Davis, the safety man, is the man who got the football.
Well, they tackled football then. They raked it right out of his hands. Best went down, and right on top of him, Davis raked the football loose and took it away. So Alabama now takes over at their 22-yard line. The Alabama defense is held up. They've wrestled the football back. Now it's up to the Alabama offense again.
Each team has fumbled twice and lost the ball, so it's been even in that department. Pugh is flanked out wide to the right. Sharp is out wide to the left side. And here's the quarterback, Rutledge, rolling out to the right, and he is tackled right on the 21-yard line. And Patempa is the man who came in to make the tackle. He's from Niles, Illinois, a 6-footer, 227-pound senior. Alabama with Kroom at center, Rogers and Pope at the guards, Sprayberry and Brown at the tackles. They have Pugh and Sharpless in there at the ends. The ball on the 21-yard line will be second down, 11 to go. These two teams are battling for the National Collegiate Football Championship, and they're going all out. Stock is in there now as a running back in that wishbone. And here's Rutledge going back to throw. He throws a sideline pass. It is, what did he call it? He called it complete on the 35-yard line. It was caught by Sharpless. He made a fine reception right on the sidelines. He tight-roped it.
There's nothing you can do with that kind of pass pattern. That's the kind of nickel and dime play they use in the pro ranks. They work you to death on the sidelines. If you get the inside pattern and throw to the inside, there's nothing the cornerback can do. He's simply got to knock you out. He hasn't got the speed, Van, to cut inside and get to the football.
12 and a half minutes of playing time remaining. Wide to the right side is Sharpless, Spivey, Jackson, the running backs with Billingsley. And waiting for it now is Rutledge, a long cadence count this time. And Rutledge is going back to throw again. And he fires downfield, and it is caught. A drop. It is dropped. Wait a minute. It's intercepted by Notre Dame, I believe they're going to call it. Reggie Barnett is the man who picked it off.
Reggie Barnett took it out of his hands. The receiver, the Alabama man, had the football, juggled it for just a moment, Van. While it was in the air, Barnett scooped it out of his hand. And Notre Dame has come up with one of the most unusual interceptions of the year. Incidentally, that is only the second interception this year for Reggie Barnett.
On just over the 32-yard line, Notre Dame's ball, 1st and 10. The Irish with a big interception. Demerly's flanked out wide the left side, double wing. Best and Pinnock. And here's the give to Best, and Best is off right tackle to the 35. And finally, to the 35-yard line, and Lowe is the man who made the tackle, along with Montgomery, and they have played some terrific defensive football. Let's set up Tom Denon down there again in a moment and see what's happening down on the Alabama bench. He's over back of the Alabama bench right now, and right after this play, we're going down, Tom, so be ready. Demerly's wide to the left side. It is 2nd down to about 8, and fumble! And Alabama's recovered it, I believe. I think it's the man who recovered the fumble. A play into the line and a big break as David McMakin takes it over on the 40-yard line for Alabama. So the Crimson Tide get the football right back again, and that's the 3rd fumble. All right, Tom, a lot of excitement, I'm sure, at Alabama bench.
Everyone agreed that the team that made the fewest mistakes in this ball game would win it. Alabama, at the end of the 3rd quarter, all raise their arms and say the 4th quarter belongs to us. With 11:47 remaining and a recovered fumble on the 39-yard line, it remains to be seen who the 4th quarter belongs to. Back upstairs to you, Alan Van.
All right, Tom. They've called a timeout, but we don't have enough time to take it now because they will start play, I'm sure. 11 minutes and 47 seconds of playing time remaining in this ball game, and Alabama getting the ball is just over the 40. You'll have to call it the 39.5-yard line. So they have got great field position right now. They're trailing 21-17, so a field goal won't do them any good, Al. They've got to go for the big one.
That's right, Ben, and you can bet on this that Bryant is not going to haggle about that. He'll go for the big one if he gets a chance. This is an explosive football team he has. He can run it, he can pass it, he can do everything, and he does it so well and so very well camouflaged from the formations that he runs from. There it is as they line up.
All right, the wishbone again. The quarterback in there with Jackson and Spivey as Rutledge. Rutledge on a give now to Spivey. He tries the middle, gets down to the 37-yard line. He got a couple of yards on the play. And Collins and Potempa in there to bring him down for Notre Dame. 11.5 minutes of playing time remaining in this ball game. The 40th annual Sugar Bowl in New Orleans.
Look out for Alabama now, Ben, because in the 4th quarter this year they have scored 141 points. That has been their big quarter, and we are in the 4th quarter right now.
Sharpless is flanked out wide to the right side. Rutledge is the quarterback, and Rutledge now is giving off to his running back, Billingsley, on a sweep. And Collins over there making the tackle, chasing him out of bounds inside the 30-yard line on about the 29. He's very close to a first down. It's going to count where he marks the ball. Let's see what they do with it. They're going to call it a first down. He brings it in on the 28-yard line. So that made the first down. The big question was, where did he step out of bounds? That's marked on the 28-yard line of Notre Dame. Billingsley in 7 carries has gained 54 yards. Jackson in 11 carries, 62 yards. Spivey in a Notre Dame offensive bonus of the night, Alabama, with their running attack. And here is Rutledge on the keeper, rolling to the right. And he is tackled on the 27-yard line by Greg Collins. Collins, the All-American linebacker of Notre Dame, knifed in there and brought him down. 21-17 to score. The ball on the 27-yard line. And it will be 2nd down and 9 yards to go now for Alabama. And nobody has left this ballpark. They're right here. Bullock fumbled a moment ago, giving Alabama a great opportunity here again. Sharpless is flanked out wide the left side. Waiting for it is Rutledge in this wishbone, and Rutledge back throws a little swing pass out in the left flat out there, and the tackle is made at the 25-yard line. And that was Billingsley, and he was tackled on the 25, and Sherman Smith made the tackle. So that will bring up a 3rd down now, and 7 yards to go.
Mike Parker is in there as a defensive back, number 33. Youngster who hasn't seen much playing action, but is extremely good on putting the pressure on. He put the pressure on, coming from a defensive back, rushing the quarterback.
Todd is in at quarterback for Alabama. He is rolling out to right, throws a pass, and it is caught out there. He handed the ball off. Todd handed the ball off. Stock threw a pass. And Stock threw to Todd. So there's a little hipper-dipper, isn't it?
That could not happen in pro football. The quarterback is not an eligible receiver. It can happen in college football. It's good for a touchdown in Alabama. That's taking the lead again, 23-21.
Alabama tried for point. Todd took that ball, handed to Stock. The throw went to the left, and Stock turned and fired to Todd. There was nobody over there but him. The kick is up. The kick is no good. He missed the kick. So with the score, Alabama 23, Notre Dame 21. There's a timeout on the field. Now this for Lazy Boy and sign-off.
This is Van Patrick. There's one thing all champions have in common, and that's performance. Lazy Boy reclining chairs are no exception. Imagine a chair that performs like a champion. Lazy Boy provides perfect comfort while sitting, reading, listening to your favorite game, or reclining for a cat nap. Once you've tried a Lazy Boy, you wonder how you got along without one. Your Lazy Boy dealer will show you how Lazy Boy performs like a champion in the field of relaxing. And there's a fall kickoff sale at your Lazy Boy dealer right now.
Well, as you mentioned, in pro ball that wouldn't happen, but when Mike Stock took the handoff from Todd, the flow went to the right. Notre Dame moving over from their left, and that left the quarterback Todd all by himself.
Isn't that odd? Now, Bear Bryant was talking about misdirection plays that Notre Dame used so well and that he was worried about them. Here was a perfect example of the misdirection play used by Alabama with a halfback passing to the quarterback for the touchdown.
Nice wire from Sid Wyman and all of our friends. They're listening out in the dunes, some 150 of them, watching and listening tonight. And here's the boot now by Gant, and it's taken on the 3-yard line. Demonic's back to the 10, the 15, comes on back to the 19-yard line, and is brought down on the 19-yard line. Demonic bringing it back, and Turpin is the man who made the tackle for Alabama. It'll be first down and 10 to go for the Fighting Irish. The score is Alabama 23, Notre Dame 21, 9 minutes, 15 seconds of playing time remaining in this ball game. And we've got a cliffhanger on our hands here at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Now Hunter is wide to the left side, and Pinnock goes over to the right as they line up now in the slot formations of a double wing. Clements is the quarterback, and Bullock is right behind him as a setback. Notre Dame now, and Alabama's calling timeout. Alabama called the timeout. So let's see what they're going to do about it. Alabama coming in before the play could get underway and calling the timeout. I don't know whether they had enough men on the field or not. They come over there and bring another one in right quick.
Well, that kept him, that saved him a penalty because he did come to the bench, the Alabama bench, and 2 players did return to the playing field. So very quickly, one of those Alabama boys, very sharp, realized he was a player short. Somebody on the sideline is going to catch a little bit of old Henry about that later on.
One thing it does, though, Al, it takes away a timeout they may desperately need in the final minute or two.
Yes, indeed, because now the Alabama sign shows Alabama has 2 left, and Notre Dame has their full 3 timeouts here. As we in the fourth quarter have 9 minutes, 7 seconds to play. All right, the Irish ready.
Double wing formation. Pinnock is in motion. And here's the counter play. It's given off to Demonic at the 30, and he goes to Hunter. It is to the 35. Al Hunter on the counter play, bringing it up to the 34-yard line. It is a first down for Notre Dame.
Great blocking, great double teaming by left guard Frank Pomerico. Pomerico and DiNardo of Notre Dame, the 2 guards, I think, Van, are 2 of the best guards in all of college football. One is a senior, the other a junior, but Pomerico and Pete Dimmerly were the key men on that block, and they really swept that side open for that run.
Waiting for it now is Clements, the double wing. Hunter's in motion to the right. It's the counter play to Pinnock, and Pinnock has to go wide. He's at the 35. He's still on his feet at the 39-yard line. Brought down on the 39-yard line by David McMicken, the safety man, and Wayne Hall of Huntsville, Alabama, a 231-pound linebacker, a senior. They'll mark the ball down, blown dead at the 38-yard line, which will make it coming up now with about 6 yards to go. Steve Quayle was in there. He just went out, and Sylvester's back in at tackle. In motion now goes Hunter, and here's Clements rolling out to the right. He's going to run with the football. He's at the 40. He goes on to the 45, and he dives out of bounds on the 47-yard line. And McMakin, who's played a tremendous defensive ball game for Alabama, knocked him out of bounds. It's going to be a first down for Notre Dame.
First down for the Irish. That ball is being brought in. It'll be placed down just over the 45-yard line. The Irish are moving the ball now. There must be a lot of eyes looking at the clock now. 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 23-21, Alabama leading by 2. Notre Dame now heading for the midfield stripe. The Irish 211 yards rushing, and Alabama 198.
Here's they give now to the fullback in there. He cracks over right guard, gets only back to about the line of scrimmage, Wayne Bullock. And he's brought down right there. Sebelius has played quite a ball game, the right tackle from Morrow, Georgia. He was also in there. So that ball is going to be marked on the 46, where it'll be second down and 10 to go for Notre Dame. Time is becoming a factor. 7.5 minutes of playing time remaining. Alabama leading 23-21. Notre Dame in a double wing formation. Clements sends Fennick in motion to the left. And Clements is rolling out to the left. He's in trouble out there. He's going to have to run for the ball. He's at the 50. He's coming down to the 45-yard line. In Alabama territory, and Croyle is the man who knocked him out of bounds. He got him out of bounds on the 45.
I believe he might have got over the 45, man. If he did, he's got a first down. Now the official is bringing it back, and as you say, he's placing it down at the 45, and that's going to be about a yard shy. It's going to be one big yard shy. Alabama has been using the 4-3. They've been using the 3 linebackers stacked in there: Strickland, Montgomery, and Lowe. The front 4, Du Bois, Covelius, Raines, and Croyle, playing excellent defensive football.
Big play right here for Notre Dame. Third down, and Clements now is going back, rolling to the right, looking for a receiver, throws the bomb down to Casper, and he's got it on the 15-yard line. Dave Casper was covered by 3 men, and he caught that ball on the 15-yard line.
I just don't believe it. It's hard to believe. McMakin, Ricky Davis, Tyrone, Mike Washington, all of them were there, and they couldn't cover him. 30 yards on the play. The Irish have a first down. The ball is just over the 15, but the back end of it touching the 15. Let's say it's at the 15-yard line. First down for Notre Dame at that point.
And what a call young Clements made with third down and 1 yard to go, and he uncorked the bomb, and Casper caught 3 for 75. What a call he made.
Indeed, man, a great call.
Double wing formation. In motion is Fennick. Here's Clements now on the counter play to Hunter. Hunter is down to the 12-yard line and brought down on the 12 after a 3-yard gain by Tyrone King. Washington was also in on the tackle. And an injured Alabama player, so with the score, that's Croyle that's hurt. And with the score, Alabama 23, Notre Dame 21. A timeout on the field. Now this for Royal Globe Insurance.
Fans, Royal Globe Insurance is delighted to help bring you this great Sugar Bowl game between the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. And to have this opportunity to wish you and yours the happiest and safest of New Year's. Chances are you'll probably be celebrating the occasion tonight. We'd like to ask you to remember your responsibility to yourself and those you love. If you're driving, be doubly careful. Half of all fatal auto accidents are alcohol related. If you have to drive, have something to eat and coffee first. That's one good way to protect against the unexpected. From the Royal Globe Insurance Companies and our thousands of independent agents throughout the 50 states, have a happy holiday and think safe. From Royal Globe Insurance.
Croyle is still on the field. Let's go down now to the sidelines, and here's Tom Denon.
The first apparently serious injury here in the ball game with 6:07 remaining. Alabama ball player stretched out on his back, still administering to him. And as yet, from our vantage point here along the sidelines, we've just been unable to pick up the number. As we mentioned earlier, 3 Notre Dame ball players nicked up a little bit. Haydock, Fry, and Stock, 2 defensive ends and a defensive tackle. And they were expected to see limited action in the second half. But this young man is still being administered to here on the sidelines. I'll try to find out in just a second here just who that is, unless you have the information upstairs.
All right. Tom,
He
is
can back down here.
Croyle, the defensive left end, John Croyle of Gadsden, Alabama, and they're still working on him. Here's Al.
Ben, I just wanted to point out to you that Tommy Clements now has 6 completions, 10 attempts, 134 yards, 3 passes each to Casper and Demerly. Casper for 75 yards, Demerly for 59 yards. 6 catches between Casper and Demerly. Great night for them. And, as I look down on the playing field here, I can't help but remember a great football game that was played here, well, actually almost 30 years ago, back in 1945. Duke University in Alabama, the same Alabama team. Great game. 29-26, it finally ended. At the end of the first period, Alabama led 12-7. They led it 19-13 at halftime. Duke went ahead by a score of 20-19 at the end of the third quarter. Then Alabama fought back. What a battle it was. Took the lead again. Duke came back to win it. Duke 29, Alabama 26. That was 1945. One of the great games.
He must be badly hurt, Al, or they would have removed him, I'm sure, on a stretcher by now. But now he's getting to his feet, and that's good to see. Croyle, who's played a fine defensive ball game, is being helped off the field. But he's played a tremendous ball game for this Alabama team. Let's double-check that number, Buck. Am I right, or is that looks like 86. Is it 83? Well, we're trying to check that number as they bring him off.
Well, that is 83, Van. That's John Croyle. And I might say a word or two about Croyle, Van. I might say a word or two about Croyle. He has had a knee injury that's given him all kind of problems all of his playing career. He was out most of his freshman and sophomore year because of an injured knee. This year he played quite a bit, made 41 tackles. He hurt the knee the first game of 1973, but got back into action. All right, Notre Dame with 2nd down 7 comes up to the line of scrimmage at the 12.
All right, double wing. Pennock is back in there, and here's Clements rolling out to the left. He's going to run with the ball. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's out of bounds on the 4-yard line. Tommy Clements, the junior quarterback, ran out of bounds on the 4-yard line, and it'll be first down and goal to go for Notre Dame. And Clements in 10 carries has gained 64 yards.
64 yards for Mr. Clements. Now that proves to you one thing. He is a great spread-out quarterback. He's a master on the option. This young fella from McKees Rock, Pennsylvania, a junior finishing his junior year at Notre Dame with 1 year to go, got to be considered as an All-American prospect for 1974. All right, the Irish at the 4-yard line. Goal to go. Line up.
Double wing formation again. They've utilized that formation quite a bit tonight. Here's Pennock on the pitch. He's down to the 3 and pulled down on the 3-yard line. And Pennock got a yard on the play, and Chuck Strickland, the left linebacker of Chattanooga, Tennessee, is the man who brought him down. We hope you're enjoying the ball game tonight wherever you are, and we wish you a happy New Year. Alabama leads Notre Dame 23-21 with 5.5 minutes to play. Notre Dame with 2nd down and goal to go, and the ball on the 3. Demerly goes out. They've got 2 tight ends, Casper and Weber, in there for Notre Dame. Now they're out of it with the wing back. Waiting for it is Clements, and Clements now on the counter gives it the best, and Best cuts back, and he's going to be dropped on the 3-yard line as he ran the counter play, and Mike Washington doing a tremendous job on the play. Let's see if they're going to move it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal to go for Notre Dame on the 2. So let's see what young Tommy Clements can pull out of his sleeve now.
I believe it's got to be power, man. I believe he's got to either swing wide or he's got to go to the power and try to jam it in there. He's got 2 shots at it. Notre Dame is running the clock out while all this is taking place.
Now they split Weber out wide. Now going wide to the right is Pennock, and back to throw is Clements. He throws to the end zone, incomplete. Intended over the corner to Bullock, and incomplete. Well, that's going to bring the kick team in here. It is 4th down and 2 yards to go. He had 2 yards and 2 cracks that he took to the air. Tried to hit Bullock in the corner. Now Thomas has missed from the 48 and 54 yards. So Thomas will attempt now with Doherty holding from the 9-yard line, so it'll be a 19-yard field goal attempt. The ball is spotted, the kick is up, and the kick is good. The kick is good. So there's a timeout. with the score. Notre Dame 24, Alabama 23, and now this word.
Welcome to the Sugar Bowl game on WSNY with Notre Dame and Alabama. A very competitive game. The food business is also very competitive, and that's where Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road, Rotterdam, leads the league. Mariahville Food Market is the market for quality foods at lower prices, with plenty of free parking and friendly service. They offer only the best to you. Their choicest meats are better, their produce is fresher, and their service with personal attention. And that's not all. They offer a fine selection of baked goods, frozen foods, and dairy products. What more could you ask for? You can't beat the convenience, the food, the savings, and the service anywhere else. Find out for yourself. They're open 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., 7 days a week. By the way, Frank and Anthony at Mariahville Food Market hope you're enjoying the Sugar Bowl game, and they sincerely wish that you have a most joyous New Year, and remind you that when you shop for food, shop for the best, and save at Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam.
They had an unusual situation out there. They had Brown out there to kick off, and he was all set to kick it. And then Araparsegan made a switch, and he's got Thomas in there to kick now for Notre Dame. 4 minutes and 26 seconds to go, and Shelby and Spivey are deep for Alabama. Waiting for the referee's whistle. We've got a cliffhanger at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Here's the whistle, and Bob Thomas, who just booted a 19-yard field goal, will kick it off, and it's going to be way short on the 26-yard line. And Alabama now with the ball on the 26-yard line to the 30 to 35, back to the 40, and a great run back by Alabama. And Mahalik made the tackle on him. That was Carey, who brought it back to the 47-yard line. A great run back for him. The officials are asking for time. They're waving their hands wildly, asking for time. And they're going to mark the ball on the 40-yard line now, where he stepped out of bounds. Quite a run back and a very short kick now. He switched from Brown to Thomas, and Thomas's kick was short. 24 to 23, Notre Dame leading. The wishbone now, Rutledge is the quarterback. He's got Sharpless out wide to the right side, and Rutledge rolling out to the right, slips and falls on the 35-yard line, and Luther Bradley was right there with him when he did.
Man, that's the third time I've seen him use the safety blitz on the quarterback on the option. Now, that is one way to key it. But just remember this, if the quarterback is sharp, if he breaks a man down the field, he can just pull up short and throw. And if he can throw 20 yards, there's no safety back there to defend. When you use that safety blitz on the quarterback, it'll contain the option pitch out all right, but you're really gambling.
Sharpless wide to the right, Rutledge is back to throw, cocks his arm, throws one, it is incomplete. At the 45-yard line, and Sharpless had the ball in his hands. Over there was Luther Bradley was right there, and Reggie Barnett, but he had it in his hands and couldn't hold it. Croyle has been taken to the locker room on a stretcher. We hope he's all right. Could be the knee. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. It is third down coming up and 14 yards to go. And here's the biggest third down of the night for Alabama, right here.
It is that indeed, man. There's 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this football game, and Alabama trails 24 to 23.
They're 2 out of 10 on third downs, and Rutledge now is going back to throw, and he is hit at the 30-yard line by Browner, the freshman defensive end. Barreled in there and knocked him down on the 30-yard line. Alabama will have to kick with 3.5 minutes to go. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
And this is WSNY 1240 on your radio dial.
Kick formation, and Browner was sailing in there for Notre Dame, and they bumped into the kicker, and the flag went down. Flag went down. That ball went all the way down to about the 1-yard line, but the flag went down, so it'll be a penalty, and what a break for Alabama. Alabama gets a big break. 3 minutes exactly to play in this ball game, and there's a big discussion. So let's see what's going to happen now. The penalty has been roughing the kicker penalty against Notre Dame. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. A 69-yard punt is dead on the 1-yard line. And Alabama has declined the roughing the kicker penalty. And that means they would not have had a first down. So they had to decline it and give Notre Dame the ball back on the 1-yard line. And that's the reason. No automatic first down with it. That would have made the difference for Alabama.
They would have drawn 15-yard penalty, but they were 22 yards back deep, man, and they would have still had 4th and 7, and they would have had a punt anyway. They have played it smart. And Notre Dame has it at the 1-yard line now. The Alabama defense is called on for a big job.
Notre Dame backed up on their own 1-yard line after that tremendous punt. And here's the give now to Bullock straight ahead, bites his way out to about the 3.5 or 4, and brought down there. Bullock brought it up to about the 4-yard line. What was that kick again, Buck? 69 yards. That kick a moment ago. And the roughing the kicker penalty didn't help them any because, as Al mentioned, they were 22 yards away. 2.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Notre Dame leading 24-23. 19-yard field goal by Bob Thomas. It's 2nd down and 7. And here's the give now. Into the line again goes Bullock. He's at the 5-yard line and brought down on the 5. Raines, Kubelis, the middle of that line of Alabama.
The Irish need right now a first down, man. The clock is running. Timeout has been called by Alabama to stop that clock with 2 minutes and 12 seconds. But Notre Dame has a 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 5, from there at their 5-yard line. They've got to make a first down if they hope to have a chance to run the clock out. Now, Alabama has one timeout left. Notre Dame has all 3 timeouts. 24-23, the Irish lead. The Crimson Tide of Alabama in possibly the tightest, the greatest, and most exciting Sugar Bowl football classic of all time.
And we've never had, I don't believe, in the Sugar Bowl riding on it, the national championship.
No, it has not, Dan. This, I think, is the first time.
And that, of course, adds all the glitter to it here at Sugar Bowl Stadium in Alabama. And Notre Dame battle it out. Notre Dame with the football on their own 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. It's just over the 5. That's the reason we say 3rd and 5. Clock shows 2 minutes and 12 seconds, but you got to bear in mind, Notre Dame is forced to kick. And it'll give Alabama great field position. They've got a long field goal kicker, and they trail 24-23. And Notre Dame taking a lot of time in that huddle. Now they come out of it. What they need most is 5 yards, and Alabama, of course, needs most to stop them right here. Here's the power I formation. Clements waiting for it, and somebody moved over there on the right side of that line. Casper moved, so that'll force Notre Dame back again. Inside. Illegal procedure against Notre Dame. And let's see, they're going to have to walk it off half the distance.
Half the distance to the goal, and if you noted, as Casper made the break, he broke to the outside. Obviously, a pass play had been called in the huddle by the Notre Dame quarterback.
3rd down again coming up. 3rd down now with the ball on about the 2.5-yard line, 3-yard line, call it. 3rd down about 8, and waiting for it now is Clements, and Clements gives it off on the counter play, and then he throws to the tight end. Weber's got it up the 35-yard line. I thought he gave it off, but he kept the ball, did a great job of faking, and hit Weber, the tight end, up on the 35-yard line. I thought he had given the ball off. He faked me right out, and he threw that ball to Weber and completed it. That's his first catch. And they're going to mark that ball on the 38-yard line and talk about a big first down.
A big first down with 1 minute and 56 seconds left in the game. 35 yards on the play. The Irish have a first down at their 38. Here they break the huddle and come up to the line, and now Alabama's battling for their life.
Finnegan motion to the left side, and Clements now gives it off to his running back to the 39-yard line. Alabama has 1 timeout remaining. Notre Dame leading 24-23, trying to win the national championship. So hang on wherever you are across the nation. We've got a cliffhanger at the Sugar Bowl.
Well, if the Irish win this one, they deserve the national championship because they have played the best football team, one of the strongest football teams I think I've seen all year in Alabama, Van.
Clements really did a job of faking on that play when he threw to Weber. Finnegan Best, the running backs. In motion goes Best. Clements now on the keeper. Brings it up to the 42-yard line, and he's trying to run that clock as much as he can. 1 minute and 10 seconds of playing time remaining. The clock is counting down. Notre Dame leads it by 1 point, 24-23. And the ball is on the 41-yard line of Notre Dame. It's 3rd down, 7 yards to go for the Irish. And coming in now is Al Hunter and goes out as Pinnock. Notre Dame has 3 timeouts, but they're not worried about timeouts. They're going to take as much time as they can. Out of the huddle they come with 52 seconds of playing time remaining. Pinnock and Art Best and Hunter in a double wing formation. Clements sends Best in motion. Clements rolling out to the right with the football. He makes a swing around right into the 45, and he is knocked out of bounds in a driving tackle by Mike Washington. We'll have to wait for the officials to mark it. It's going to be very close to a first down.
And I believe it is, looking across the way. If that's the headlinesman that is touching the football down, his knee is 1 yard ahead of the 10-yard marker. He has a first down. Let's see. It is first down, Notre Dame.
Well, it's going to be first and 10 for Notre Dame with 37 seconds of playing time remaining. Ready to go with tight formation. They're just trying to run the clock out. Here's falling on the ball. Tommy Clements just trying to run it out. Alabama has 1 timeout remaining, and they're going to call it right now. They're going to call it. The ball on the 49-yard line. Alabama, they still have not taken the timeout off the board, so it's on the 49-yard line. The clock is moving again. 20 seconds of playing time remaining. Notre Dame leading by 1 point, 24-23. Double wing formation. Clements just trying to run it out. What a play he came up with to pull him out of a hole. Clements rolling out to the right, cuts in, and he's holding on to that football. They've got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. It's over. Notre Dame. Wait a minute. Alabama has called timeout with 3 seconds to go. Alabama has called timeout with 3 seconds. The spectators are already out on the field. They're going to have to clear them off the field. So Notre Dame leading by a point. And Alabama utilized that 1 timeout they had. Oh, you've got to give a lot of credit to Alabama and their great coach, Paul Bryant, and to Eric Horsigan and Notre Dame. What a tremendous ball game we have had tonight. What a way to wind up the season.
What a way for Alabama to play. They played a fabulous game tonight. Bear Bryant is to be congratulated on a tremendous effort. He has one of the most exciting football teams, man. More team speed than any other ball club that, I would imagine that Notre Dame has played in many years. Great team speed on this Alabama club. They certainly don't have to bow their heads in this one. 24-23, you can't get 2 teams any closer and have a winner. You got to have a tie ball game otherwise. Oh, this has been a great one. 3 seconds remain. Just 3 seconds. Across the way, the Notre Dame band is flaring out as the Irish line up for the last play of the ball game. And here we go, my friends.
Tight formation, and Clements just falls on the ball. This time the clock runs out. Notre Dame, the national football champions. They are being mobbed on the field. The Irish, coached by Eric Horsigan, are national champions. They have beat Alabama 24-23. So let's get this word in now for contact.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love. But give your cold to contact.
Don't just stand around and sniffle. Do something about that cold. Early. To get the relief you want, up to 12 hours of continuous relief from just your sneezing, runny nose, and congestion, you'll need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of nighttime liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or only 1 contact. Figure it out. 6 or 3 or 1. Take contact. Get all day, then all night relief.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. When you catch a cold, take contact. Only as directed. Contact, #1 in the world.
Notre Dame, the national champions, are getting out on the field now. We'll have ceremonies coming up shortly. Al, we might run down some of the statistics in this ball game.
All right, Notre Dame wound up with 72 offensive plays to Alabama's 69. 19 first downs for Notre Dame, 21 for Alabama. 419 yards for the Fighting Irish, 315 yards for Alabama. 250
Let's go down now, Ben. Tom Denon down on the field. Go ahead, Tom.
The winner for this Sugar Bowl Classic. It gives me great pleasure to present our winning trophy to Coach Elliot Prestige of Notre Dame. Coach.
Thank you very much. The MacArthur Bowl, which is symbolic of the national championship. And, Tom, if you're still down there, I don't know, Bedlam is breaking loose down there. So we'll present the wrap-up of tonight's game after this for Royal Globe and Lazy Boy chairs.
A serious New Year's reminder from Royal Globe Insurance. What can you do about the energy crisis? Plenty. Drive slower. Use your car only when necessary. At home and at work, keep thermostats at a comfortable minimum and turn down the lights. This can be an enormous help in the difficult months ahead. The Royal Globe Insurance Companies believe that every responsible person has a stake in conserving energy. We ought to know. We've been helping people out of all sorts of crises since 1848. Royal Globe Insurance, worldwide shield against the unexpected. This is Van Patrick for Lazy Boy. 1973 is drawing to a close, and 74 is just hours away. So why not make 74 your year for comfort with a new Lazy Boy reclining chair? Only Lazy Boy offers the deep down comfort and rugged construction, perfect for watching TV or just resting after a busy day. Start the new year off right. Make a resolution to see your Lazy Boy dealer right away and tell him Van Patrick sent you.
All right, let's go down and see if we can pick up now as the MacArthur Bowl, symbolic of the national championship, is being given to Era Parsigan. Tom is lost somewhere in that crowd. We're going to keep trying to get him out. He's somewhere in that mob as they present the MacArthur Bowl and all the Notre Dame rooters. There goes Era. He's going back to the dressing room. He's being escorted back to the dressing room, so the MacArthur Bowl has been presented to Notre Dame, the national champion.
I see Eric Pennick on the shoulders being led over. On the shoulders is being carried to the podium. I think he will be named the most valuable player of the Sugar Bowl, possibly. Let's find out. Pennick still wearing number 44 on the shoulders of the Notre Dame fans.
Well, our board of experts, Al, have voted the Lazy Boy chair to Greg Collins as the outstanding defensive player, and the outstanding offensive ball player was Tommy Clements. So the two Lazy Boy chairs will go to Notre Dame in the names of these two young men as our experts voted tonight, Greg Collins and Tommy Clements. Clements just came up with the call of this ball game on that third down situation when he faked the counter play and hit his tight end Weber that got the big first down that saved the ball game for Notre Dame because Alabama would have been in kicking position and could have won the ball game. The Notre Dame fan is whooping it up, and I know you've got a lot of comments.
Indeed I have, Van, and we'll continue our wrap-up after this word. What a night for the Irish. What a night to ring in the new year.
The Mariahville Food Market on Mariahville Road in Rotterdam sincerely hope you're enjoying the Sugar Bowl game tonight between Notre Dame and Alabama. Frank and Anthony of the Mariahville Food Market would also like to wish each and every one of you a most glorious and happy new year. Remember, for quality foods at lower prices, plenty of personal attention, free parking, service, friendliness, convenience, and selection that can't be beat, it's the Mariahville Food Market, Mariahville Road, Rotterdam.
Along, Wayne Bullock led the Irish with 77 yards and 19 carries. Art Best had 45 yards. Pinnock had 28. Hunter had 26 yards. But Hunter ran a kickoff back 93 yards to set a new Sugar Bowl record. The young freshman accounting for the big touchdown for Notre Dame. Clements completed 7 of 12 for 169 yards. And I might add that the young man who was named our most valuable player and who wins our Lazy Boy chair, young Tommy Clements, rushed for 74 yards more in 15 carries. Casper caught 3 for 75. Dimmerly had 3 for 59. Weber caught an all-important first down pass for 35 yards. Alabama, Rutledge completing 6 of 11 for 77 yards. Todd caught 3 of 3 for 28. Pugh, Sharpless, and Jackson each caught 2 passes in the Alabama attack. Alabama's rushing. Jackson, the leader, was 62 yards, 11 carries. Billingsley, 54 yards. Spivey had 44. Todd had a total of 32. So total it all up, it was quite a night. Quite a night for the Irish. Quite a night for Alabama. But on the scoreboard, 1 point, just one single point, separated the great team efforts of these two clubs. Two undefeated clubs until tonight. Now Notre Dame is 11-0, and Alabama is 11-1. We'll have more of our post-game summary after this for United Delco.
After lots of time and lots of miles, you get to know your car. Want it to be trouble-free, no matter where you are.
Here's how to get started in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Just watch for the red, white, and blue Delco sign. Delco is also a good way to get a fresh start in Raleigh, Durham, High Point, or just about anywhere else in North Carolina.
Delco Battery. Delco Energizer Batteries.
You can find a fresh start just about anywhere. Look to Delco for an energizer that's been vacuum sealed at the factory. It stays new because the seals aren't broken until it's installed in your car. So you can expect the power you pay for and a fresh start. Start after start.
Delco Battery.
Delco! For easy starts and quality parts, Delco's the name to know. Well, the more you know, the more you want Delco. Well, the more you know, the more you want Delco. Well, the more you know.
Van is still going wild here in the Sugar Bowl. Every Irishman that could get a ticket and back in here came to see Notre Dame battle Alabama. We got an Irishman, or is he an Irishman? Joe Bonamolo, who is in charge of the limousine service that got us over here. He's been waiting down in the limo to get us out of here, and he's done a great job for us and for the president of our network while he's been here. So for Joe Bonamolo and the limousine service down, the guy who's waiting for us, we don't want to keep him too long. Just wrap it up here by saying, Van, there's so many people, so many friends with the National Collegiate Athletic Association, so many people in the National Football League that we would like to send our regards to and a Happy New Year to, that we couldn't name them all. It would take us a half an hour. We can only say that all of them have been responsible for helping make our mutual football broadcast exciting and efficient this year. So we'll say to every one of you a very Happy New Year, the best of 1974. Van, it's been a great pleasure being with you in 1973. Just a tremendous pleasure, and we have had some exciting moments.
Well, we want to thank Paul Bryan and his staff, all of his coaches and his football players, Aaron Parsegan of Notre Dame and his staff, Roger Valdesari, the publicity director of Notre Dame, and Charles Thornton of the University of Alabama, and all of the officials who've been so great in helping us prepare for this broadcast. Notre Dame, the national champions of college football, they defeated Alabama 24-23. Engineering tonight, Jay Howard and Ken Tankersley, and assisting on the broadcast was Bob Freshley, Stan Fedzak. Our spotter and statistician was Buck Jersey. Marty Edwards, also producing in Washington, our executive producer tonight was Jack Clements. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. It was nice to have Mr. John A. Harton, the chairman of the board of the Mutual Radio Network, here in our booth with us tonight. So that's the story of tonight's ball game. The Sugar Bowl, the 40th event, and they'll have to go a long time before they come up with another game like this one. The Sugar Bowl has been brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealers, who invite you to take a close look at the 1974 Ford cars. The closer you look, the better we look. By Royal Globe Insurance, who have 7,000 skilled people in over 120 offices around the country to serve you. By Lazy Boy Chairs, who awarded a Lazy Boy chair to Greg Collins and to Tom Clements, the game's outstanding players tonight. By Delco and your local Delco dealers nationwide, who sell and install quality Delco replacement parts for your car. By the Red Ball Transit Company, who take care of your moving needs. By Contact. By